It's happy birthday! Woo! Welcome to High Rollers Dungeons and Dragons. We've been doing this shit 9 years, baby.
Wow.
Wowie!
Old enough to drink.
Old enough to drink, old enough to drive a motorcycle, so many things.
Smoke drugs.
Sweet.
Own a gun.
Droogs. Own guns, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Eggs.
I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello. And joining me this week are our usual suspects.
Degenerates. I've been taken away. It's time. Hi.
We've got Rhiannon. We've got Chris Trott.
I just got Charizard.
They literally...
Full immersive.
I don't
It's
have
full
that
immersive. This is my second one.
All right, on the other side of the table, we have Tom and Katie. Tom's doing his usual suspects pose. Yeah. You would think, dear viewer, that just before their weekly game of Dungeons & Dragons, they'd all be so hyped looking at all their character sheets, all their new items that they got.
No,
we were. They're looking at fucking Pokemon cards.
We got distracted.
I got an immersive Charizard.
Welcome everybody. We are going to be jumping in with the game, but like I said, we have literally been doing this 9 years.
9.
Technically, it was on Friday, but this is our 9th birthday episode.
Wow.
Kind of crazy, right? And I think a lot of it is thanks to you guys out there. Like, we wouldn't be doing this if you guys didn't support us and support things like the live shows and the conventions that we've done, buy the merch, buy the dice, come and see us, and just watch all the one-shots. And even during the COVID years.
Dark times.
Ree and Kim did a wonderful little blog post over on our website. We've got a website.
Lovely.
And you should go and read that. It's actually really sweet. There's loads of pictures from things that we've done over the years. If you've not read it, highly recommend going and checking it out because it's a really lovely little post and it's got a lot of great memories from times gone by. A lot of mentions to our guests that we've had over the years and many such things as well. So that's what a lovely time. With that, there's a little something, which is we've done a little merch collection. Kate, do you want to talk about merch?
There's merch.
He's pogging his gourd right now.
There should
Pogging
be.
so hard.
That's going to be the thumbnail.
There should be a link in chat and stuff from mods. There is a birthday throwback collection on our merch site just now. It's probably it's limited edition, so this is going to be up for maybe a month or so. Basically, it's your chance to grab a couple of pieces from Lightfall and Erois that maybe you missed. Way back when?
Yeah.
9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like our first t-shirt is up there, and
Our second t-shirt is up there.
t-shirt is up there.
Posters, some prints.
Posters of our older characters. So yeah, enjoy. And
Huge pile.
Look, they're there.
it's a big throwback.
Nice graphic.
There's one now that I'm wearing. Ignore the blue collar.
The frame rate's not high enough for your actions. Slow it down. There's something really unsettling
It's
about
the mouth.
It's the mouth.
It's like
Wait,
a
hang on, I
void.
can make this better.
It's the abyss. Now I can't look left or right.
Oh, I should
I'm
do
using
that
my
face.
hang
with
on,
those
Tom.
eyes.
If you do that, let me you do what you were doing, and I'll peep us down at them. Oh! Oh!
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Merch. Chaos
Please
energy.
kill me.
My jaw hurts.
My eyes.
There's your birthday present from us is chaos.
You can buy merch for yourself and give us money.
My merch. There's the Storm Chaser shirt, the original Erois logo shirt, and
Yes.
that's in black and white. Storm Chaser's in like a dark grey and a white. And yeah, you can enjoy.
It's a lovely little collection, and it is
Enjoy.
only going to be for this month. So if you missed them out, or if you've maybe just gotten into Erois, maybe you've gone back and you've started watching it, probably going to be like one of the few times you can get any of that stuff. So definitely pick it up this month while you
After
can.
this month, we're going to delete all the PDFs.
They're
Yeah,
gone
that's it.
forever.
We're just going to delete.
I'm actually going to go back and delete all of Erois.
We're going to delete
YouTube.
Erois
We're
one
going
by
to do
one.
an anus and just delete it
It's
all.
anus, but sure.
Pretty sure it was an anus. But yes, go and check that out. Thank you, Katie, for putting all of that together. Lovely little collection. And a lot of the old artwork done by Nina Serena as well. And Tommy's done a little bit
Nina
of vectoring and
Serena
stuff.
and Harry and Who else? I think
that was
that's
it.
it. Nina and Harry.
It's just Nina and Harry. So
Yeah.
Correct spelling of Juto as well.
Correct spelling of Juto.
Judo.
Nice.
Right, that's a reference that most people that have joined us recently won't get. But
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Remember that? We did that. But yeah, that is it for this week. We are going to jump in with the episode. I think it's going to be probably the last part of an interlude. We're doing a bit of an interlude right now in between sort of arcs and quests. But a few little things to tidy up and maybe some new endeavours and a direction will form.
Great.
Bye.
See ya in a second.
In a minute.
Oh, bye.
Welcome back to Altheya, the Dragon Empire. As the heroes travelled back towards Ashen Rest, having faced the Reclaimer cult and rescued Sir Eldrac Ignis and the Green Dragon noble Lady Verithera, they were met on the road by Lord Obsidius and Lady Emberissa, Red Dragon nobles of North Vale, who initially set them out on their quest. Obsidius was furious with the party for sending a tell-all letter via courier to him that could have exposed them and himself to great danger and political disaster, whilst Lady Emberissa was desperate to see Sir Eldrac, who was revealed to be her son. With Sir Eldrac's crown still corruption, he is taken away to be hidden in the lady's personal manor in the city of Kelskaris until he can fully recover. As they did, the party completed their journey home to find that their inn had been fully repaired and adjusted to their liking, and indulged themselves in the local bathhouse services, some new clothes, and then visited Lady Emberissa for promised rewards, where a young kobold named Kulo Kikshi tells them tales of Lady Emberissa's magic item collection before the party selected 2 prizes for themselves. The chosen items were a suit of mithril chainmail called Dalaran's Last Duty, which was gifted to Rowan, and as well as the runestone of Hearth and Home, a large, giant enchanted stone that allows the user to teleport back to it from any distance. And that is where we pick up today's episode.
What'd you call it, sorry?
Episode.
Oh, okay.
Episode.
That's how I'm saying episode.
Called you a sod.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Before I forget, because I know it's important, again, I'm not expecting combat today, but it never hurts to have these on hand. Let us do our Pool of Fate.
Oh!
Totally
It's going to change everything.
Oh,
Good
to
bit.
fight
Well,
the kobolds.
we were going to do some combat because we were going to test out our thing with Dan.
Sure.
Yeah.
You what?
Wait. Never mind.
Okay. I'd like to withhold fate.
Let's start with Rhiannon.
I'm on God's side today, 6.
6. Wait, I'm God.
You're on,
I'm on
the people's side.
side.
Yeah.
The people.
People.
The people.
Oh, the people.
Chris Trott.
3.
That's nice for me.
Satan's side
round up
today.
there.
Oh,
2.
a dice for me as well.
I'm a man of the
Satan.
people. I have a 5.
I'm a man of the people. A dice for me. From a 3 from Katie. For people who keep stats. And then from me, a 1.
Oh, 4 and 2.
All right. I think fate has decided we are not fighting the kobold
I fight
today.
all
We weren't going to fight the
kobolds.
kobold. We're going to fight you, bitch.
Wait.
We talked about this before
We
stream.
literally talked about it before.
We're going to dig your
I'd
heart
like to
out
use
with a
both
spoon.
fate now.
So, we find ourselves in. Let us have you make your way, because I know that there were some thoughts about potentially going to see Duke Ignarius. So as you are leaving Lady Emberis's quarters in the Dominus Ignarum, the ducal palace, the home of Duke Ignarius and his draconic family that rule over North Vale, the lined sort of as you are making your way out of Lady Emberis's quarters, which is this sort of 3-story domed tower. You didn't get to, you only saw the sort of ground level. As you're making your way out into the long corridor, there are these rows of little red-scaled kobolds in their little butler and maid uniforms, sort of bowing to you as you make your way out, as the Kikshi family is the traditional family that looks after Duke Ignarius's family here. They're sort of all bowing, thanking you for coming and sort of wishing you well. As you begin to make your way out of Dominus Ignarum, but you are still within the proximity of the building. The structure is made up basically of like 2 wings. One wing for Obsidius, one wing for Lady Emberissa, and then the Duke is in the central building, basically.
I get it, because they're dragons.
And that,
Wings.
Everything is beautifully decorated. It is very ostentatious, being Cauldron, so there is lots of finery, paintings, tapestries, sculptures, as you begin making your way out. But if you wish to go and see Duke Ignarius, you certainly could do so.
Rowan is hefting this enormous
Do you have
stone.
a big rock?
So what's our plan with that rock, by the way? Where are we going to put that?
In.
Well, yes, but we can put it in the garden, I suppose.
Oh, it'd look lovely in the garden. Yeah.
It would.
What if someone steals it? What if someone steals the rock?
It looks very heavy. Like Rowan is.
My knees are shaking.
Like Rowan isn't necessarily maybe the strongest person around, but because he is Jotnir, he's half giant, like he's able to carry immense amounts of weight. It would probably take another Jotnir or a giant to move this stone. And you know that there is, Kulo kind of would have explained this, that there is some magic that once you set it, it sort of magically anchors in place. So somebody would need to come along and disrupt that magic to take it as well. It is very difficult to steal. It does mean you can't put it on moving things, so you couldn't put it, example, on a sailing ship or
A train.
on a flying device or a train or anything like
Okay.
that. It has to be on a stable, non-moving surface.
So,
What's a train?
does Altheya have tectonic plates?
It does, yes, but
And is this planet moving through
it does,
space?
It is fine to go on the ground, just not a man moved.
No man move.
Yeah,
It's why I never want to go
What
back
about
or
no?
forward in time,
yeah,
because I'd just be in space.
right.
Because
I don't want to rush anybody here.
I know, but it's just
I don't
a big
want to visit
decision.
any more shops or anything. I wouldn't mind just quickly going home.
You sure you don't want to put that on like a wagon or a cart or something? I don't
Might
even
break
know.
the cart.
That's true. Let's keep moving then, Rowan. You take the lead.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to just make your way back to the inn, you can absolutely do that, no problem.
Just to drop this off.
Guards are things, you know, they salute you as you go past. You are very well known in Ashenrest. You have a reputation here. You have basically saved this town. You are known as close allies
Kind
of
of
Duke
a big
Ignarius.
deal here.
You are the local heroes.
And now we're
I just-
clearing roads so that Rowan and his big rock can get through safely.
Well, they're probably. I mean, I think people do sort of like make their way,
Rowan is reversing.
but there would also be like there are people who are like, oh, it's the hero, like they're kind of, oh, and they're like watching what you're doing. There's an excitement and a buzz about what's going on.
I would like to remind the team that if we do see Duke Ignarius, we could, get ourselves another 500 gold.
I just want to drop this off.
Ignarius.
Yeah, it's like there's no rush. You can easily drop it off and
We
then
can
come
drop
back.
off and go
Yeah.
back.
He's not a busy man. He's always there.
Just sitting around, empty throne room.
If he
Kicking
is
his little
available, you might have to wait a little bit, but I mean, you might have had to wait anyway. Like if you were
In fact, yeah,
straight
could
there.
we make an appointment with him,
Heroes.
like on the
Yeah,
way
I'd say
out?
that like on your way out, you could just mention to consider Orgrim. Could we like?
Oh, hang on a second, Rowan. We just need to just stand there for a second.
Okay.
It's all right. Gruff could always like catch up because Rowan's probably moving at like half speed anyway.
No, I'll wait.
You can wait. Consider Orgrim and be like, Knight Errant Gruffith. What can I do for you?
Oh, consider. Fuck.
Just take a minute.
Conspirator.
Hello, my name is Gruff.
Conspirator, yes.
My name is Graf, and I'm from a little village called Tremoro. Xanthius.
Yes.
Xanthius.
There it is.
Consider it.
Xanthias, consider it, Orgrim. Good day to you.
A good day to you as well.
We'd like to.
God damn it.
We'd like to. I'm going home. We'd like to book an appointment with Lord Ignarius.
That's. I'm sure that I can look in the books and give me a moment.
Oh, no, take all the time you need.
I will.
Today.
He shuffles off into like a little side room near the entrance. Some sort of study. You can see he goes up to a large ledger and he's like,
Should we get food after this?
I think he has lunch first.
I
We should
am
definitely have lunch
yes.
before we.
I'm quite hungry.
I've been to the Grumpy Hog for a while.
Yeah.
Grumpy Hog, yes, but we have been there before. There must be new places we can try out.
he comes back maybe after 5 minutes or so. He's like, well, yeah, he's checking to see when the Duke's available. He's a busy man.
Oh, you're sweating. Are you okay?
He comes back. He's like, well, the Duke would be free after dinner this evening. He has no plans for this evening. I could book you in there.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Very well. I will tell. We will expect you here at the Dominus Ignarum.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very well. Good day, heroes.
Well, we can do this evening, can't we? We can definitely
Got
pencil that
nothing
one.
on.
Nothing else on, no.
Shopping.
It's worth considering. Worth considering. Should we go shopping now?
I've got platinum.
You do have platinum.
I have 5 platinum.
You do.
Why do you have it? No one else wanted it.
Are you certain that it wasn't spent at some point?
I've only given 1 away. I had
Okay.
6.
Oh, I remember now.
Yes.
Wait, no, didn't you spend all of your money to...
That was before.
That was gold, yes.
That was-
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Still on a bit
I
down, so-
imagine that this conversation happens as you are making
as
your
we
way
were
back.
walking.
You eventually make your way back to, and I don't think I've actually told you this before, but the street that Tyria's Rest is on
It's haunted.
is the street that you have. Another ghost. No, it's called Red Steel Street. Is the name of the street. So as you make your way down, you turn off the sort of one of the main avenues called the Heart's Way, and that leads on to Red Steel Street. You make your way down, you pass a latte fun, and you...
Oh, could we just pop in quickly? We could just
Yeah,
get
we should.
pastries and
Yeah, fuck it.
I will point out, you
That's the first
You
time
went
I've heard
in and
this.
got like a bunch of stuff this morning.
Oh, yeah, we
It's
did.
been like a few hours since then.
It doesn't matter.
Daisy, if you want to go in, you can drop a couple
No,
of silver if
fine.
you want. You make your way back to Tyria's Rest. Rowan, hefty. The rock itself is too large to fit through the doors. So Rowan, you have to sort of heave it over the fence and then go through, pick it back up, and then carry it
Not
back into the garden.
before, like a dog with too long a stick going
You go.
through a gateway.
It's okay, Rowan. I'll just get the gate for you. I just need to open the... I missed it. Missed it.
all right, you'll get it.
Hang on, missed it.
It's all right.
I just need to shove it a couple of times.
Just
It's really
take a
not...
minute.
Hang on.
Really stiff, really rusty.
Ophelia,
there.
can you help me out here? I'm trying to get this gate open. It's just
brand
really...
new.
I'm just...
It's
Gruff
not
gets a
rusty,
pipe
it's brand
out.
new.
Gruff gets a
It's
pipe out.
okay, I'll
He's
get the
just watching.
WD-40.
He's just not helping at
The
all.
wizard dragon.
Just puffing away.
Eventually, once the gate is opened, you make your way through, and yeah, you can place the runestone in the Garden of Tyria's Rest. There is enough space that you can place the runestone. There's still a large amount of garden space left.
Should have gone a little to the left.
You reckon?
It's blocking the sun just a little bit.
It's right in front of the window, Rowan.
Yes.
That's not...
Maybe just.
All right.
How close to the pond do you want it to be? Because Gruff does have like a little pond out there as
No,
well.
we don't want to appear back in the pond when we transport back.
Okay, that's why I want to ask.
Don't put it near the
Xanthia's just face down.
How does that look?
Oh, yes, I think that's better. That looks better. It's a little
Alright.
bit further away from the window.
I'll be twisted a bit.
Oh, little twist,
Oh,
yeah.
twist it,
Little artsy
absolutely,
twist,
twist it, give it a
yes.
go.
Oh,
Jaunty.
little jaunty angle.
You know what? I think it should have gone in the house.
No, floorboards can't support it.
Okay.
You could put it in the
Let's take it
cellar
back to ignore
of the house if you didn't want it out in the garden.
Imagine taking that down the stairs.
Thinking about it, if we put it in the cellar, for whatever reason, we need to come back incognito.
Yes.
People are going to see us if we reappear in our garden.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go inside and get something to drink if you want to just...
I'll be with you in a minute.
You're doing great, Rowan.
There's actually a good shout in the cellar.
I try and heft it down to the cellar.
Yeah, you absolutely can. One thing what this will mean is the cellar will be limited in what, like, if you want to build like a workshop or something down there, it will be somewhat limited how much you can put down there because you need space around the stone.
Rowan.
It's like building. It's like building an oak. But you need like
build something in the garden. We've got space in the garden. We could
Yeah,
build
you can absolutely. You can build like shrines and stuff there.
So-
But with the runestone, you need basically a 10-foot clearance around the stone because that's where you and any creatures will appear.
Now the stone's
basically.
down here.
Don't like it.
Also, and I'm going to bring this up because I know it's going to be a problem later on. What if, for example, you want to teleport Rodri back? If it's down in the cellar,
It's going to teleport into a wall and be like,
you won't have to worry about appearing in the wall, but you might struggle to get Rodri out of the cellar.
It's just the body slap noises.
I've already written that it's in the garden in my diary, so do you really want me to cross this out?
At some point, we're all just looking at the rock in the cellar. What about Rodri? Cut to me like,
Like Sisyphus pushing it up the stairs.
Push Dawn from behind.
Donk.
Yeah.
You can do it, Rowan.
Yeah. You maybe have to like Gruff has to get some tools out to like take the frame out of the cellar door to get it back in and out. Then it goes back in with nail lights to
necklace.
and then eventually you get it back out into the garden. Is that where you want it to be, Rowan?
Yeah.
Once you settle in your mind that this is where you want it to be, the rock sort of sinks into the earth a little bit, like it just sort of seems to meld with the earth a little bit.
It's sinking.
And it takes on an appearance where the earth around it looks like it's been there for years
Let it
now.
cook.
It's settling in. It's
Moss
settling in.
begins to grow up, like rapidly grows as if it's been there for years, and then it settles.
Can I spend 10 minutes communing with the harmonious recall? Just want to make sure the smaller rocks don't feel
Upset.
or disrespected
Yeah.
by the big rock coming in. And I still care about other rocks just as much.
You get the sense of the earth and stone because it's like soil, but there's like little stones and rocks and things like that here and there and deep down in the surface. You get the sense that there is almost an awe towards this stone. Like there is a sort of respect. Like this is like a hierarchy here where people begin. The stones are feeling that a leader has arrived or like some great figure, strong figure has arrived.
They will lead the revolution.
But the previous alpha has been mogged hard.
What have I told you about bringing all that fucking shit? You start bringing that millennial shit in, you know what happens, buddy?
You're gonna kill my main series character too?
Well, listen.
He has that
I've
power.
warned you before.
Well, skibbity my stigma, Riz Lord. No!
The threat is real. I'm warning you now.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, no, you get the
would be
sense
deserved.
that
That was terrible.
this has brought quite a powerful earth
resurrect
magic to this garden, and it resonates from the stone. Like this stone has quite a strong aura of magic about it. That rune in particular, as the harmonious rocal, you maybe get flashes of a distant land, a sort of stony isle dotted with green hills and like mossy sections, a few copses of trees that are incredibly big, like ridiculously sized, and just working on this rock, chiseling away at it, humming that song that you heard, that walking home song. You see this big grey-skinned, green-haired giant figure like chiseling this rock, and you kind of get a flash of memory of this stone being created by this Dale giant.
Hell yeah. I share that with all the little rocks.
Yeah, they
I
love
sing the new song to the little rocks.
Okay.
Say, this is your new boss.
it. Sure, yeah.
He's coming, he's bought the place.
Yeah. If at any point, like, I'm not very good at writing songs, but like, if you want to come up with like some lyrics,
Rock man.
about walking, that'd be cool.
Cool.
Yeah, proper like sort of like little walking, sort of hiking song, kind of thing that like Bilbo would sing, or like the Hobbit would sing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hobbity song.
Very nice.
Yeah, so the runestone is now placed. You are considered attuned to it now, and as long as you have the small stone on you, you can activate that.
What's up?
Guys,
What is it?
you know, we were going back up and down the stairs in the cellar. Has anyone seen the small version of the big rock?
Oh, the room.
Did we leave it at the...
Did you pick it up?
I thought it was
asked
put in
them
my
to
satchel.
You put it in your pocket.
I was
It's
pretty.
in my satchel.
Okay.
Look at my satchel.
Oh, by the Great Father, don't do that.
We're attuned now.
So how does this thing work?
I feel like we just need to think about returning. And as long as we're all connected,
Physically?
maybe.
We can give it a go now. I mean, how often
I
can
have
we
a
use
sense
this thing?
of how it works after sitting with the rock for a while.
Okay.
And you would know that
did
about
tell us.
every 7 days it will
7 days.
it will replenish its power, its mana. You would know it functions the same as the teleport spell. So the creatures have to be within 10 feet of you. You can name up to 8 creatures that are within 10 feet of you, and you can teleport them back. I am going to say, by the way, for the sake, and this is not, I'm going to be, you can't cheese it, but if, say, like, you're with Rodri, who's got the wagon on, I'm going to allow you to bring the wagon back as well. I don't want to fuck around with, like, we've had to leave the wagon behind or anything, like, that's fine. If you try and, like, teleport, like, specific objects, then maybe it gets trickier.
If we like tether them properly.
I'd say, like, yeah, exactly.
creature.
And you have to willingly choose the creatures as well. So, like, say, like, you had somebody in the back of the wagon or somebody snuck in there and you teleported. If you didn't know they were there, they would get left behind. Like, you wouldn't take them with you. But the idea is it functions exactly like the teleport spell. So
cool.
any up to 8 creatures within 10 feet of you, Rowan, when you activate it.
I know it's the 7th level, technically.
It is a 7th level
Wow.
spell. It's a powerful spell.
But once per 7.
Once per 7
Once
days.
per week, yes.
And also it will never miss. So normally the teleport spell, there's a chance it will fail. This basically counts it as a permanent magic circle, but it can only ever teleport here. It can't teleport anywhere else. It can only go back to the return stone.
If I lose the stone,
Yes.
does the stone teleport back to the big stone?
We'll find out what happens if you ever lose the little
Don't
stone.
lose the stone.
Not that I'd want to, but
Maybe we should put it on like a necklace or something, and then you can wear it.
Yeah.
How big is it?
No, it's like palm size, this smaller stone. It's like a palm-sized stone.
On a little chain or something. You can put it on your belt or something.
yeah, that's true. Could be quite a nice accessory.
Although, would it be okay having a hole drilled through it? The stones.
What the fuck are you going to do with it?
Oh, you have to put it on the chain. or
Two
you broke
Rowan
it.
curses in a stream.
You need to stop. You know better than that.
Couldn't stop.
It couldn't stop.
Literally couldn't stop. You're right. I don't know. I'll have to ask it.
Okay.
But I just did a thing with the rocks, so it's going to take me a day to do that again.
Here we got time. We got time
We got
to
time.
figure that.
I'll
out.
hold
Don't
it for
worry.
now in my satchel.
And you are wearing your new armor as well, I'm assuming, Rowan.
Yes.
Looking resplendent.
Yeah.
Shiny.
It's thin and light enough that you can wear it under clothing as well, like if you want to.
At the moment, I put it on
Over
just
the top,
out of
yeah.
the.
What's wrong with
Don't look at him.
Carry on.
Don't make eye contact with him.
He's having an issue with
you? It's
the-
clearly. He's really struggling. Right, with that, you have returned back. I believe that
Oh no.
by this point, I'm trying to think. So Penelope's been keeping herself busy, probably like hanging out with Percival here in the inn. Everything is very neat and tidy. Like there have been table runners and tablecloths have been put over the tables. It looks like Teresa maybe sorted that out for you while you were away. Some rugs have been placed down. All the new furniture looks absolutely splendid. You also would find if any of you go up to the rooms, as I mentioned, all of you now have rooms. Oh, I forgot. I printed out, by the way, a layout.
Oh la la.
Holy sh!
I noticed some nice rugs.
We got
too.
rugs now.
Our map has some rugs on it.
It's got some
Is that
rugs.
all they did?
Rugs.
They just put some rugs in.
Some rugs down.
The place looks so much better with
It
rugs.
looks amazing.
Put like a
Covering up
painting
all
up where
the
there was a
holes in the
hole.
floor.
Covers up everything.
So you can, these are for you guys to doodle on and stuff like that, but basically these are like the layout. So you have like the main floor here, then you, so this is like the main floor of the inn,
Yeah.
without the bar and stuff drawn on it.
We've already got one.
You do already have one of those, so you can have.
You keep that over that side.
The only thing I've done with this one is I've shown how on the attic, where it was one big attic room,
been separated.
it's now been split into 2 smaller 15 by 15 rooms. These are technically the smaller rooms. These rooms are slightly bigger, so you get to decide
By
who
3
goes
squares, I see it.
in. Yeah, you get to decide
Oh,
who goes
15
in. the small-
feet.
Thank you very much.
All right.
But use those, like, literally draw on them. Like, if you want to decorate your rooms, pick, like, if you could also name who's in what rooms, that would be useful for me.
So important, everybody. We need to decide our rooms.
Oh.
The rooms need to decide us.
They can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we do then? Do we just go in there and see how the room feels
Yeah.
about us?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess first one is that one right by the stairs.
So there's, like, door here, and then door on this side.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this one?
I would like one of the big ones, please. Just because I'd like to have room to move and dance.
You have Percival as well.
And I have Percival, yes, of course.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Can Rodri come in? Or no?
Rodri? No, I
Get him
mean,
up the stairs.
That's true.
we don't even have much space for Rodri in the garden, let alone in the actual tavern.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you want this one, Ophelia?
Or the first one on the top of the stairs?
Yes.
Is this speaking to you?
I think so.
This one.
Yes.
It's got a nice window out
Got
the
a nice
back.
window, yes, I can see out the
You
back.
can see the stone from here.
Well, why don't you take the one where you can overlook your shrine?
That's true. That would look
That
good
one
at the
you can
shrine.
overlook the shrine.
Yes,
It's
I'll take
got
that
two
one.
windows.
And it's got two, yes, okay, I'll take that one then, please. Yes, thank you.
All right. So if you could just make a note on the maps, like who's got what room, just so that I have a reference.
So you're
for
around the
later.
corner at the
So
top of the
it's like-
landing
Here.
on the right side. Tyria's Rest for audio listeners.
Audio listeners.
I feel like on the Patreon a map was posted a while back, but I can do it again.
We can update it with the names.
Yes, I will put an image of the floor plan of the tavern on Patreon for free for people to look at.
Who's next?
I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of possessions. I don't need much space, so I could take the higher one.
For reference, a 15-foot by 15-foot room is 3 Kims laid out on each side.
If we're
We
using
found this out.
measure.
Yeah.
Kim is exactly 5
5
feet.
foot.
So any D&D measurements, think about a Kim.
Yeah.
Like melee range,
So
1
three
Kim.
of me. Yeah.
Three
That's
Kims
exactly one
away.
Kim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With your arms out or arms in?
Arms in.
Can you just lay on the table?
So. I could.
But they're like a kind of like student accommodation room. They're not massive. They're basically there's room for a bed, like maybe a desk or a wardrobe or something like that in there. The large rooms are technically like 5 feet. I think it's like 15 by 20 feet. So it's like slightly longer but a little bit shallower.
Yeah, you got an
Not so
extra
shallow.
3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whereas these are 3 by 3. That's 3 by 4.
Yes.
What about you, Rowan? Do you want to be closer to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ideally, but also I like the idea of looking over at my rock.
From that room
that
there.
Up the windows in the morning and just seeing it out there.
Yep.
That'd be a great
So that would
start
be
to
the
day.
middle, the second room along. Yeah, that would be the best one
But
for
I know
view
it's
of the
a
rock.
big one, so. I
Yeah, but you're
appreciate-
much bigger.
You are, yeah,
True. But I've stayed in the same place as you have.
true. But you are almost a Kim above us.
A what?
A Kim above us, so you might need a 4 by 3 Kim room.
What's Anthea saying?
I don't know, what's a Kim?
It's a unit of measurement in Cauldra.
Oh,
Oh.
We got taught it in school. You might not have heard of it.
Oh, so we have CM, so that's like a KM.
Oh, it's about 152 centimeters cm.
That's very
A KM
specific.
is a kooky meter,
Cookie, what?
which is about 5 feet. A Kim.
Okay.
That's how it is in Ilnera, canonically.
So confusing.
Yeah,
how many
right.
GNs is that? Giant
Yeah.
nails.
How many what?
Stupid. I'll take the middle room on the second floor, please.
Does the top floor have windows?
Not in the rooms, but in the because it's an attic room. The rooms are actually like in the middle, so I guess maybe they could have little skylight windows
Yeah.
just to let some natural light in. But the windows are actually in the corridor that is at the front of the inn itself. So there's like a corridor that runs along the front of the attic in the inn that has windows looking out on the street, and then the rooms are attached to that. But I'd say that there's probably like little, just to give a bit of natural light in. There's like little windows.
If you left
up in
your door
up in the
open,
roof.
Yeah.
you'll get light from the corridor
That's
window.
true. Is there a room at the top that has access to the roof?
Yeah, I'd say that there could be like a
square.
maintenance little ladder or something
that
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Which one?
Whichever one you pick is the one that will have the roof
The
access.
one at the end, the furthest away from the
Makes
stairs.
sense.
Furthest from the stairs.
Yeah.
He's going to smoke weed in the attic.
No.
I knew it.
I'm going to open the skylight. And none of it's coming down.
He's got to let his dragon breath out sometimes.
Yeah.
Xanthius Oregon, what
Blows
is that
fat
smell?
clouds.
I don't know what an Oregon is. But I've got a blanket. I'm going to use that as like a draft excluder.
This room smells rather funky.
No, it doesn't.
So which
Do
one
you
are you
have any
taking?
preference?
Top left or top right?
Top
left.
So the furthest away
Furthest from the stairs.
from the stairs.
Xanthius is right.
On the third floor,
Be
technically.
sort of up here.
Yeah.
All right.
2 left.
Gruff?
I think as the oldest of the group, I should have the biggest room, so I'm sleeping on the first floor. No. I don't mind, Daisy. What do you fancy?
I don't mind either.
Right.
I never really
I would
had
say the first one along the first floor would look out over that little pond, so that would have like a view of the little pond out in the garden.
Maybe, how do people in Iceheart like decide like a 1v1 kind of competition? Do you like flip a coin?
Deathmatch.
Maybe you should have a death match.
Yes!
Fight to the death to see who gets the room. That could be a good way of deciding it.
No, I
Okay.
don't want to do that.
Okay.
If anyone did an insight check, that was a real fucking lie.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Well, me and Stuart will go wherever.
I need to go the diametric opposite of that dog.
Well, you're lucky because those rooms are.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Be nicely separated. Also, it'd probably help if maybe Stuart was upstairs, because then hopefully,
I mean, he's gonna be everywhere.
yeah, he's going to be
Not
everyone's
gonna
Stuart.
lie. He has to leave.
Those eyes feel real puffy, Gruff.
I wouldn't mind, Daisy, if I could have the one that looks over the pond.
Okay, I'll have the little one.
Does Daisy look
You're
sad?
but you're a little one.
Does Daisy look
No,
sad?
Daisy's never had a room.
Because
that
if
she-
Daisy looks sad, he's gonna
No.
crumble.
she's never had a room that she can decorate and make hers, so she's happy with literally any room. She's fine. I will take the top room. I'm smaller as well. Gruff is
No, I'm just
Large.
thinking, Gruff, knowing that would make sure you have the big room.
no, but Gruff. Well, I don't know that Daisy would say that. I think she would just. That's just.
Say like, yeah, that's fine.
I don't care.
You'd have to insight it.
Anyway, I'm going to my room while you guys decide.
The only thing is, if Gruff wants to spy on Xanthius and be really cool.
I'm not spying on him. Just keeping an eye on him.
You take the big room.
Okay.
Maybe we could like drill a little hole in the wall between our rooms.
Absolutely fucking.
What is wrong with you
You're
today?
just
So,
no.
so Groff can keep an eye on
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Does Gruff enter the room?
The one next to yours, yes.
Yeah. Rowan's going to test the walls.
No.
Bang, bang, bang!
if you are like banging and shouting, you absolutely can hear
Gruff.
through the walls.
Yes, I can absolutely hear you.
Oh my god, we're roommates.
Daisy!
Yay. I can play. Can you hear my sostenuto?
How loudly are you playing it?
As loud as I can.
Yeah, you can. Everyone can hear it. Like it's
Gruff.
maybe muffled above, like, but like Ophelia and Gruff absolutely can hear it.
Gruff.
I'm in the cellar and I can hear it.
Oh,
I could be in the shrine and I would hear it.
wait, I'm going to bang on the other wall. It's around the corner, but... Ophelia!
Yep, definitely can.
You better not be ruining that plaster work.
It's probably a lot of like Rowan's bassiness that's just carrying it as well. Like,
I'm
yeah.
gonna like stomp on the floor. Can you keep it down? I'm trying to sleep here.
Yes!
What?
I'm trying to think!
Think away. Stop him with his guitar thing.
It's maybe like the stomping above isn't as bad. It's definitely audible, but not as bad.
As the stamping starts, Stuart starts to bark.
I'm going to the shrine!
I'm going to die. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go to
Kids
the
better
roof.
keep this all down.
I want to see Stuart.
I'll take Stuart to room.
We just like cut to like Penelope, who's in the bar, just like holding a mug, like, like listening
smashed
to
on the
all
floor.
this, like, just scared.
I went up onto the roof. I slip off.
You break the roof again.
Outside
This
the window, just
this isn't a real roll, Tom. But can you just roll an acrobatics check for me? This isn't a real roll.
a 7, I believe.
Were I a cruel DM, you get up on the roof, you fall off the roof, you take X amount of falling damage, you're dead.
Need to get that fixed.
So yeah, you guys all have your rooms. Any requests that you made, these were all assigned, the furniture that you guys wanted to specifically have, if you had any special requests. I know that Ophelia wanted to have like some things for like making stuff and like little bits and pieces. You can decorate as you see fit. These are your personal rooms to do with as you wish.
Painting and drapes and art.
I mean, do you want the ornate painting that we took from the Ashen's? No, yeah, the ruin.
The Ashen Citadel.
That.
Is it going? I mean,
So
We were gonna sell it, but
yeah, you can sell it for 100 to 300 depending on the dealer, but it's an ornate painting. I believe it was.
It's very ornate. It's from it would have been of. I probably did describe it, but I can't remember. It probably would have been of the battle. Yeah, it would have been of like, or of like showing the regal dragons of the area or something like that. It would be very cauldron. It would be. I'm imagining a sort of beautiful sort of Italian Renaissance kind of oil painting depicting. I think it might have been. Duke Ignaris's mother, the former noble of the region, probably with a young Duke Ignaris, like maybe something like that, or it was maybe it was a landscape. I think it was a landscape of.
You have
somewhere.
power
The hills.
to just make it whatever you want.
But I might have already described it.
I think you did.
I think the
but-
mother rings a bell.
It's a magic world.
It is a magic world.
Also, I painted over it.
I am gonna say that it is a landscape, and it is by. And in fact, I'm gonna write this down somewhere so I remember it. It is a landscape painting. You wouldn't know this. I don't think any of you would really know classical like art masters or anything like that of this world. But it has the look of something where, this doesn't look like this is like a one-off painting by a nobody. This is like a known painter. Like this is like a Rembrandt or something like that. Again, not sure how famous or how much worth it is. But it is a landscape painting of North Vale. So it is this beautiful painting of maybe with the fangs of the Empress in the background, these big tall mountains with a tiny little bit of a glow as if a volcano is hidden up in amongst them. There's a bit of a red glow and smoke kind of coiling away from it. We see the mountains with the beautiful hills, vineyards up in the distance, and then it slopes down, beautiful forests and things, and it's showing a road, maybe let's say of the Ashen Citadel. It's showing of from when in its heyday, perhaps, with a dragon flying over the top as well.
So would you like that for your room?
I mean, it would look nice if it's going. I'll take it.
Well, I was only going to sell it, but yes, I think it will look fine in your room.
Thank you. Yes, I'd love it.
There's also plenty of room in the main room if you wanted to hang decorations. It is undecorated in that term. So there's things like tables and table runners and things like that. But there's like over the fireplace, there is easily space for you to hang something there. You can put things behind the bar.
All of us. A group painting of all of us over the fireplace.
We could do that. Do we know anyone who's... We literally do.
We know a painter.
We literally do, of course we do.
I was actually going to say, I feel like Daisy would probably be working on a painting of everyone, like a group painting that she was going to put in her own room, but if the idea is there...
Yes, over the mantle would look fabulous. It would look so wonderful.
It would take you some time to do, like, if it's, a really proper painting. It'll probably take you a
But
little
now,
bit of time.
I've got a space where I can actually...
Absolutely.
Should we all dress up and get really nice clothes or pose and look our best?
No.
I'd say as well, like, for something like that, it might be worth Daisy buying, like, proper painter's tools, like a canvas and things like that. Because, like, you probably have enough to do, like, sketchbook and, like, watercolours and things like that.
Daisy's room so far is just a bunch of pages from her sketchbooks
Stuck up.
of, like... Ophelia, Rowan, Gruff, Xanthias, just like random little drawings, little doodles that she's done of everyone that are just like scattered on. They're not framed, they're not, it's just like pages from her sketchbooks.
You do have a place for your big owlbear plush now. can go on your bed.
And I have a cozy blanket, which can go on my bed.
All of these little trinkets, like this is, you can store them here safely, right? Like, you
Oh,
can put
so
them
I
here
can
and-
store my demonic residue from Commander Neros. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
store that.
This is where I'm going to put my.
You could do something with that, but I don't know.
Coffee cup of slime on the table.
So everyone's got nice stuff, and I'm just like some goo.
How long?
That is a dry, crusty residue left on a broken coffee mug. Like this, it's like it's not slime anymore. It's just crust.
I've got an owlbear plush. I've got a little cauldron flag from the festival.
It's like having like a young, like a 20-year-old's dorm room, like a little flag and like the blushes and the
Well, she doesn't
blanket.
have too much, but the things she's got has been stuff that she's gotten
Really
when
kept.
she was with these guys. And then
Cute.
on like if there's a little sideboard, she puts the little gem that Rowan gave her nicely, safely there.
You probably
And
have like a
then,
little dresser.
I did the floral painting of like flowers that represent all of us that I did at the festival. So she'd probably put that up in her room as well.
You've got your hair Go Gruff banner. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll go into Daisy's gonna go into Gruff's room and be like,
Hangs the Gruff banner.
Right.
"You don't have anything on your wall. I can make you something."
I was enjoying the natural look. No, I'll take it. I'll take. Leave it there. Leave it. Oh, fuck, bloody hell. Is there Stuart fur on this? Is this?
Oh yeah,
been-
sorry.
Has he been?
It's been in your bag, so it's yeah.
Might have sausage rolled in it a little bit.
Remember, every time Gruff sneezes, it's one of those dad
Yeah,
sneezes.
it's a big. yeah.
The side of the tavern blows.
Like, you think like Rowan's
windows
bassy
shake.
and noisy? This is the bassiest noisy.
We're under attack!
Just have the tavern done.
You just hear the tippy taps of Stuart's paws just running in the opposite direction from with me.
All right.
I will take Stuart into Rowan's room.
Hello, Stuart. He puts his headlamp down. That's the first decorative piece.
Just like on like a dresser on top of it, like a helmet lamp.
Helmet lamp. Stuart! Hello, Stuart. Oh, he's a good little boy.
You can play with Stuart for a bit if you want.
Oh,
I'm assuming like Stuart will just have the run of the place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
this is my
But
bed,
don't
Stuart.
go near
you can go
Gruff.
on my bed.
jumps immediately on the bed, rolls around on like the blankets and the
I've
covers.
got like snacks that I've
Loves it.
accrued
Loves
in my
it.
satchel.
Yeah.
Feeding Stuart.
Stuart has his favourites already.
I feel like he would instinctively go to Daisy and Rowan because
Yeah.
they
100%.
give him the most attention, and I think Daisy will, every time Stuart tries to go over to Gruff, be like, no, to try and gradually teach that, no, Gruff allergic, no.
I think Gruff wouldn't mind, but he's just there's a.
For Gruff's sake, Daisy will try and train him to, no, this way, this way.
Gentle exposure
Yes.
therapy.
We'll find out how well that goes. Anything else from you guys?
Don't think so. Not for me, anyway.
Very personal things. Cool. Well, you have like time. What I am going to say is because we want the events of the live show to happen, because we said that it was going to be canonical, but it needs to fit in the right place. I would like us to have at least a couple of weeks downtime.
Okay.
Now I know that like there might be sort of pressures of like, oh, but we've got quests, we've got things that we need to go and deal with. But you are also adventurers. You are exhausted, like from these journeys, these travels, that travel into the Ash Hills, the fight against the Reclaimers. It's not just been hard on your bodies, it's been hard on your minds, and you need some downtime. You need to rest and to recover, even if mechanically you have your hit points and you don't have exhaustion levels. I would like to suggest that from a narrative perspective, this is like you are worn thin, right? You're all like at the end of your rope. You're like, oh, fucking hell, like, you need a bit of downtime. That isn't mean to say that you can't go and do cool stuff. Downtime activities are absolutely going to be a thing, whatever you want to do, and we can roleplay the scenes out and everything like that. But let's assume that we're going to have at least 2 weeks of time are going to pass between now and whatever decision you guys come to of whatever you want to do next, which we should also try and figure out where you guys want to go and what you guys want to do. But think about like what kinds of downtime activities you want to do. So you can go out and we'll do individual scenes, like we want to go speak to the Duke. Gruff maybe wants to go see Sonora Kell. You guys can go along and host those. But like maybe Daisy's going to work on this painting. Great, we'll make that a downtime activity and we'll have some checks to see how much progress you make. Like you're going to make a nice painting, but it might take you longer depending on your roles. There's also going to be the thing of, and I know we talked a little bit about it last time, but I have come up with some basic rules for if you want to get this place up and running as a bar. Right now it will have to be limited to a bar, which will basically be you can provide drinks and sell drinks. If you can get a chef and get food suppliers, then you can also do it as a tavern, which will be basically food and drink, but no rooms to rent. If you expand the inn and you build more space to give people rooms to rent, you can make it a proper inn, and then people will be able to stay here. And all of these are like, you'll make more and more money the more stuff that you sell. I've also come up with like a little system for tracking like employees.
Oh, hell yeah.
Things like if you do special events or like ways to like have the inn or the tavern or bar make more money, I can track that. And you'll basically make a weekly or monthly amount of money depending on how well things go.
Amazing.
I'm imagining how in-depth this employee tracking thing is, where the game just turns into like, all right, make a roll. They turned up late.
It won't be that in depth, but there are going to be things like
I'm going to scold them. I got 3.
They're
They're going to be late again, aren't they?
You do that thing where you're like, hey, could I have a word? Just really need you to be punctual. And they're like, yeah. And then they just don't listen to you. No. For the sake of our own sanity and avoiding our various pasts in retail, we're going to avoid that. But there will be there are different levels of quality to staff. Cheap ones might not be very reliable. Really good ones are going to be expensive to maintain. You're going to have to pay their wages.
How much? Because we did get an additional lump of money.
Yeah.
From Considerate, right?
1,000 gold.
Yeah.
So how much do we have?
But there is also some potential more payment from Duke Ignoramus
Yeah.
himself as well.
So I currently have 2,620. We could get another 500
Each.
I also have a chest with 800 gold. I've given you the thing. I've also got ruby statues worth 300 total. If I sell them.
Keep in mind as well, if you want to do
assets.
things like magic items, potions, if you want to get upgrades to the tavern as well. Remember we talked a little bit about that? Let's say you want to have, one of you wants to start dabbling in alchemy and you want to have an alchemist's lab. You could do that, and you could build an alchemist lab, and then what that'll be is as a downtime activity, you're like, I'm going to spend some time making some potions. We'll roll and see what happens over a week that you do. Or you could do things like, we want to build a little druid sanctuary out in the garden around the rock or something like that, or around the pond. You could build something like that, and that would give maybe Gruff a benefit, once a week. Improvements to the shrine, that kind of stuff. So it might also be worth thinking about Gruff having a rough idea of your total money, but maybe splitting that out because you might all have individual things that you want to pursue, right? And taking a cut or something like that.
Dad will give an allowance to the group.
But yeah, so this is really an open thing, and if I don't have mechanics for something now, if you tell me, I can go away and work on something and come back and be like, cool, we can build that. This is what it will do. This is how much it will cost.
Cool.
But I need to know that so that I can go away and have a noggin think about it.
I'm going to develop the first video game studio.
All right. I know you've been working on game dev in your own time, Chris Trott. But yes. So that's the whole thing. And like I said, we've got Ashland Rest. Anywhere that you want to go in Ashland Rest, we've got, you can go and visit those places.
Or is there any equipment tables, I suppose, that people are hoping for?
So I was thinking, mainly because this is how my brain works, more from a roleplay perspective. I think Gruff, having spoken to Baranth and Lady Altheya and having that time with them and talking about Fae magic and stuff like that. The Altheya magic.
Yeah, primal magic.
Primal magic.
Yeah, magic of the land.
He would start thinking a bit more about that, because I feel like previously he's followed the Saints and the Scions and not thought too much about his connection to the Earth. but his time with them has made him start to think more about that, especially since he's having a bit of a crisis of faith with being introduced to the Grey Father and all the stuff that he's seen with the church in Ashen's Rest. So if they're still around, he probably would have a little bit more of a talk with them about how do I build a shrine? Like, you know, how do I explore this connection that I have? Because I've noticed my magic is getting stronger and I don't really understand why.
Sure.
So, and part of that, I think he would want to build a druidic shrine that is centered around the pond in the garden.
Okay.
So just some light blasphemy.
It's not that.
It's actually
It's
not.
not blasphemy then.
So it's not blasphemy because Altheya. So and I think I've talked about a bit of this before. The Scions are Melia and Pyrrhus, the two moons, the two goddesses who helped defeat Sovereign and sort of led to a lot of the mythology and the religion of the Psionic Church. But another figure is referenced in that called Altheya, who's the third sister of these powerful beings, the goddesses. But Altheya gave up their body to become like the mountains and the rivers and the woods and things like that, to restore it after it was blasted by Sovereign and the Brightstorm. So Altheya is not a heretical thing, but it's considered in the Sonic Church that Altheya is dead and gone. We now pray to like the two protectors, but there's a kind of like, oh, but yes, the land is still part of Altheya, and that's a precious thing. But it's not really the focus of the religion, whereas there are people who believe, and there are druidics who study, say, well, actually, Althea's not dead, but is now just the living world that we are part of, and is part of everything now. And so it's kind of like a branch of psionic faith, but it's kind of like a little sub-branch of it.
And I think growing up with, the Saints and Scions, he would have been more focused on Melia and Pyrrhus at first. So yeah, having spent this time and all the adventures we've been on and stuff like that, he's now actually thinking a lot more about Altheya and his connection with the earth. And also probably because he's been going to areas that are quite built up and man-made and stuff like that, or dragon-made. He's missing that connection to the earth. So
Well, you're in luck because Lady Verathea is going to be in town for a couple of days because she's basically waiting for Lord Obsidius to sort things out and then go back to the heart of Daranax to sort out the corruption. So she's going to be sticking around for a few days. So yeah, you could absolutely find some time to go and speak with her and talk about that. And we can roleplay. We'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. But yeah, I've put notes down here that a druidic shrine. I will have a think, come up with like some benefits and maybe some options and a cost. Yep, and I will let you know.
Cool.
Do you want to put down that you have the ornate painting in case you want to,
I don't know, sell it for some reason in the future? It's ornate painting worth 100 to 300 gold.
We can also use this time because we know that the events of the live show, which if you haven't seen, by the way, available on YouTube, you can go watch it. That is going to happen. So the magic items that you acquired as part of the live show, as part of that adventure, I have given to Gruff. So Gruff has on the character sheet.
Be nice to me.
But we can also divvy those out and talk about those if you'd like.
Do you want me to go over it now? So Gruff grabbed two things. You grabbed the Void Star ring.
Yes.
I grabbed two things.
So shall I add that, the Void Star?
No.
No? You grabbed it back from me, did you?
So Daddy has confiscated.
Let's assume that, like, when you got back to the vault, everyone sort of, Gruff was like, give me that, give me that, give me that. I'll sort it all out.
Confiscated.
Sure.
Because you were smoking weed in your room.
I was not smoking weed in my room.
So...
He's looking at pornography.
Natural one. I was blazing. I am like red-eyed right now. I wasn't.
Bro. Xanthias, I'm over here. So one of the things I got was a Proto-Magi spellstone. Level... so I got two of them. One is the first level... and it's called Etheric Armament, and then I have a third level one, which is Energy Cascade.
So a little bit about these. So, magic. When the first survivors came out of the protections of the gods into the world, and the Dragon Empress found them and began the foundings of the Empire, and as people began to discover their own natural magical abilities coming out, a lot of the kind of core magic, because, it's kind of a funny thing, right? You guys have spells and you'll fight enemies that sometimes use those same spells, or you'll come across NPCs. There's this kind of common knowledge of magic where a lot of these spells are shared across the Empire. These magics have come from the dragons. Some of them have come from Proto-Magi vaults and then been disseminated out into the wider world over the centuries. it is a sort of rare treasure and a very highly sought after treasure that people that go into the Proto-Magi vaults sometimes come out with these spell stones, or maybe it comes in the form of a crystal. Sometimes it's even come out, they've found the knowledge of spells embedded in these weird little crystal larvae that they have to like put in their ears and go in and give the knowledge that way. All these sort of weird ways of storing knowledge, basically. Some of them contain spells that have never been seen before. And that's what these spells are. These are Proto-Magi spells.
Ties nicely with my downtime.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll get to it.
Yeah, get to that in a minute.
Well, shall I, and I don't want to spoil what it is, but shall I share them out? So there is a thing on this, so Mark's put it into our sheets, and they can be learnt by Bard, Eldritch Knight, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard.
Yes,
So
these are arcane spells.
I need to pass them up between.
Well, we need
Bard,
to
the
research them
Sorcerer,
anyway,
and
right?
Warlock. So the Etheric Armament one. There's a lot of stuff about how it works, but this spell creates 3 weapons of magical energy that hover around the caster for the duration. When this spell is cast as a bonus action on future turns or as an opportunity attack reaction, the caster may make a melee or ranged spell attack against the creature with one of these weapons. Deals various damage.
Okay.
And while the caster has at least one etheric weapon remaining, they gain a +1 bonus to AC.
I will also point out it is not concentration. So, and if,
Well
if you cast it at higher levels, you get more weapons.
That's crazy.
That's really
It's not too bad. It's like a it's like a bonus action, so it's like spiritual weapon. You're doing about a spiritual weapon's worth of damage.
Very
You can't expend it all in one go, so you can't attack like multiple times. It's like a once per turn thing. But as a mage, it's a way of having like if somebody comes up to you and you want to like, oh, I don't want to use like a range cantrip. You can use, and I picture it personally as a very sort of Final Fantasy, like you have like swords and axes and bows floating around you, and then you're
It's very nocturne.
you could have like 8 swords if you wanted to. And
What level was that again, sorry?
That's level 1.
pretty good.
Pretty good spell. Pretty good spell.
Yeah, and these Proto-Magi spells tend to be more powerful as well. They tend to be quite strong. Some of them sometimes have drawbacks. Sometimes some of them might be like, you cast it and it might cause a level of exhaustion when you cast it, for example.
On which note, so the other one I have is 3rd level Energy Cascade. As a reaction, when a creature within range that you can see casts a spell or makes a magical attack that deals acid, cold, force, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, you can attempt to siphon off some of that energy to empower yourself and your allies. The triggering creature must make a Constitution saving throw versus your spell casting DC. On a failure, the triggering spell or attack deals half damage, and up to 3 creatures of your choice, which can include you, deal an additional 2d6 of damage, matching the type of the trigger
Wow.
attack.
So the idea of this
next
is like,
attack, okay.
say a wizard casts Fireball, you split that fire energy off to your allies, the Fireball deals half damage, and
That's
then your
cool.
allies get a bonus damage on their next attack.
Who can learn that one?
So both of them is Bard, Eldritch Knight, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard.
Cool.
So you 3.
Sweet. Yeah.
Sounds like a Zan thing, that one.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. The swords one is also good, but
cool.
yeah.
Both.
So what was you said your downtime was related to that?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
We're still going through the items, right?
Okay, sure, yeah.
So that's the 2 spell stones. The Void Star Ring. The Void Star Ring has 3 charges and regains D3 charges at midnight. As an action, a character can expend 1 to 3 charges and shoot a 60-foot long, 5-foot wide beam of starlight. Any creature in the beam must make a DC 15 Dex saving throw, taking 2d6 radiant damage for each charge spent.
Oh, wow.
So it's between 2d6 and 66, and it's like, beam!
That's really cool.
God damn.
I'm going to fire it on myself, and that's how I do my pretty princess transformation.
Radiant damage, you say?
Yeah. So those items that they are now, obviously the Volan Vault thing hasn't happened, but in this downtime we'll assume it does, and those are going to be available.
They now exist.
With the spellstones, you can technically use them like a scroll, so they can just be a one-use thing. They are that I would not advise that unless desperate.
That's so OP. Yeah.
It might be that, like, if you're in a vault and you found a really powerful thing and you're getting your asses kicked, you're like, fuck it, we need to use this now. That's fine. But in this kind of instance, it might be what you can do is a wizard can learn it as if, like, they were learning a spell from a scroll, so they copy it into their spellbook. Other spellcasting classes can learn it in a similar way, where they have to spend a certain amount of gold equal to 100 times the spell level, and then they spend a long rest studying the stone, meditating on it, and then they can swap out one of their known spells and learn this new spell. And then in theory, if you wanted to, you could scribe, if you had the ability to make scrolls, you could then make scrolls of that spell and give those to other spellcasters, or maybe like pass it on. That would, in time, generations of time, that would then disseminate out, and that spell would be more widely known in the Empire.
But Rowan could take one, and Xanthias could take one, and they could teach each other.
Absolutely, in time, yes.
In time.
Yep.
So you could take one each and then teach each other the other one.
Yeah.
And you'd both have it in
If you wanted those, if both of them wanted those spells,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool.
Interesting.
I don't think either of you have the ability to make scrolls, because I think that is now like a crafting thing that you have to do.
I was thinking about.
But you could start to work on one, right? Like it would just be a crafting downtime thing that you do.
Okay.
Cool.
Just think of the 2 magical items I've recently got, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
it'd make more sense for you to have some.
So all of those are nice options
Under
to
people.
think about. But yeah, what about in terms of actions today and in this downtime? You guys have got several days. I know you're going to guys want to go speak to the Duke. I know you, Gruff, want to go see Nora Kell. Is there anything else that people want to do? Like specific things?
Rowan's downtime comes post Proto Magi Vault,
Okay.
I think.
So like maybe we'll have like 1 week of normal downtime before that, and then there'll be a week after that, or after the vault.
And this is where it really sets in of like Rowan's history. He unearths more about Proto Magi Vault. He's scared of them as of being there, and his kind of archaeological past, his desire to explore, and that sort of thing has kind of put him on the track of learning more about Proto Magi in general.
Okay.
Utilizing these artifacts and things that we've gained, kind of doing some more studying about them, learning where
Researching.
other vaults are, either to like make more people wary of them, but also to learn about them a little bit more, utilize them.
Yeah, that will. So let's keep that in mind. We'll do like a round of downtime, and then for your role, that will basically be you're going to spend some time researching. You make a roll. You can spend gold to try and boost your odds on it and stuff like that. And depending on the results, you will learn something. But if you get good results, if you roll high or if you get a high result, you might learn additional information. And I'll kind of give that as a choice. Like I'll be like, you can learn the location of 2 vaults, or you can learn the location of 1 vault, but learn a bit more about that specific vault if you want, or something like that.
Like
and I'm assuming you would look in the local area. You wouldn't be looking like far away. Yeah.
There's something there that's like not being gathered, but people have like warned people about, like a thing in there that's like...
Yeah, so that's the thing with vaults, right? Like, there is the Proto Magi vaults, there are like known ones, like famous vaults that exist because either they're regular, like they appear and open regularly, and so people kind of go in, snatch and grab as much as they can. Some of them have been completely emptied out and have just become like barren, like they've just been raided. Some of them seem to be permanent, like they never go away. And then other ones, like the vault, like only appear very rarely. Some vaults are stumbled upon and nobody has a clue that it's a vault until they go inside, right? They can appear as anything. They do take ominous kind of forms, like normally it's like a really weird looking obsidian doorway in the side of a mountain, or a weird monolith in the middle of a lake. Or a giant comet flying through the sky, or, a floating castle that just sort of vanishes from the ethereal plane every now and then. They tend to have these kind of mysterious forms, or like a big stargate, set into like an underground cavern. But they all tend to have that kind of similar vibe, but they can just appear out of anything.
I want that one, the Stargate.
You want the
Yeah,
Stargate
that'd
one?
be fun.
Stargate.
Oh, sorry.
With the iris, and then you try and
pretty
leave,
dope.
and then you smush against
And
it.
Teal'c's there.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's great. We'll do that in second week of downtime.
So
George.
I was thinking of my downtime. I think I would work kind of alongside Rowan in that, but mechanically different, because I was thinking of maybe trying to get some kind of etheric arcanist workbench type thing, because we've just started to pick up like these magic items that have all these relic abilities and things. And previously, I'd messed around with like the broken everlights and stuff. Also, Verifera was hinting, or not hinting, was saying that there's more power and control I could have over the runic abilities and stuff like that. I almost want like a space where I can tinker and either make magic items or like a place to examine these stones, or
What if you could disassemble magic items into components?
and then put those components into other things, socket them, so to speak.
Socket them, so to speak.
I kind of want like maybe not like a workbench as such, but almost like a
No, I mean it would
don't
be
know,
like it would be kind of like a workbench / like workspace, right?
yeah.
As far as how I want to do that instead.
That thing.
But if because I'm also invested in the discovery of proto-magi vaults as well. So if examining these stones, at least to begin with, helps Rowan.
So what I would say is
I don't know.
that idea that you've got, that's like a upgrade, right?
Yeah.
That would be like you'd have to build it out. So I'll need to go away and have a think about costs and
the
what
cellar.
benefits and stuff it was going to do.
Yeah.
It probably would be like that'd be you need space for it, and so it'd probably be.
I can imagine there's some late evenings where Xanthius is working on something. Rowan comes down with his headlamp on. I've just made a discovery.
Yeah, totally.
I turn around, I've got like soot all over my face. What is it, Rowan? Like,
I
goggles
imagine
lifted up.
it's going to be like less steampunk and more like proper weird magic stuff. It's like, you know, more like if you've seen Arcane, it's more like Jason Victor than it is like steampunk goggles and powder and steam and stuff. It's going to be like weird metals and sort of strange devices
if-
and stuff like that.
I wonder if I should have it as a part of my room, and then it's like certain hours of the evening when I'm researching.
It's not going to be able to be in your bedroom. I'm going to
Okay.
say that now. It has to. That is
Just
like a
imagining it being
major
like,
upgrade.
I get these. I get a load of inspiration when the table is being lit by the crown up there. Weird.
Yeah, maybe.
I've built a gun. Holy shit! This is C4.
But yeah, so that will be like an upgrade that we could talk about and think about.
Cool.
So like let's kind of like in that first week, let's kind of like break it down. Like before the events of the live show happen, you have like a week, right? What do you guys want to do? You have so you know that you're going to go meet with the Duke to talk about this reward. That's going to happen today. But is there anything you guys want to happen in this first week that isn't like a full-on like upgrade or like a big thing like that? Like this could be like starting working on the painting. It could be like I want to go and buy decorations for the inn and like we'll do a thing with that. You know, it could be I want to go and chat to this NPC that I really like. Like, is there anything like that people want to do?
I've got a smaller thing. If I've got that grave-touched wood that we took from the haunted tree.
Oh yeah.
So I've got enough to make a weapon or a shield. Or if we can think of something else, like maybe something for the inn or the wagon or something. I don't know. I'm sure we can beg Mark that it fits into our fantasy. But mechanically speaking, does anybody want a grave-touched wood weapon or shield?
Is the grave touch wood something that if I had the Arcanist's table, I could then use that as some kind of component? Maybe?
Yeah, you'd basically like grind it down into like powder or something
Mm.
like that, like a necrotic powder that you could then maybe use to fuel other stuff for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say as well is like if you were to say, for example, give it to Ophelia, you could have it made into like some sort of statue or icon to go in the shrine, and I would say that might count towards like an upgrade to the shrine, basically, or something like that.
Yeah,
so-
no for Daisy. Necrotic, not the best.
Yeah, same for Gruff.
the-
Like, yeah, I was like, would he want a shield that's made out of dead wood?
The other thing as well is like keep in mind that is the tree is made from the tree that Tyrea was buried under.
Yeah.
You could, I would say, like if you wanted to make
yeah,
like a
that's
little
true.
memorial to
Statue of
Tyrea,
Tyrea.
you could have something like that and have it
That would
in
be
the inn.
nice.
Yeah.
Something that maybe gives some kind of
Yeah.
bonus to the inn. I don't know, some kind of protection.
I'll figure something out.
Cute.
I can fuck with necrotic.
Yeah, here's
Okay.
this thing that held your bones and tortured you for years, and we've turned it into a statue in your honor.
We
No,
turned it into
but
a door
maybe-
that opens for
Well,
us.
you don't think that the tree was torturing Tyrea? Like she was buried under it, and then her anguish kind of infected the tree almost.
Here's a physical reminder of your anguish.
That's more.
Go you.
Yeah.
Maybe we could turn it into a baton that we give the first security guard at the tavern, So any drunkards or unruly people, we hit them with Tyrea's baton.
He sucks the soul
Tyrea's
right out of them.
And it's like necrotic.
Tyrea's anguish.
Yeah, like you could easily make it into a club or a great club. Great club, quarterstaff, shield, or some other item.
Something for your shrine, I think. Unless you want it for components.
No, I don't. If it's a magical thing, I think I could. I'm wary of having this work table that I could literally say, I'm interested in every magic item now, but I don't want to hoard everything, obviously.
Well, we're going to get stuff that probably doesn't suit everyone. So, like, yeah.
This can literally be a thing where Gruff goes to Ophelia with this
Maybe you can make
on their own.
one plank at the entrance. The moment you step through the door, you suddenly
creaks.
feel like really uneasy.
And it creaks ominous.
Really good for followers. Makes them really want to come back.
I was going to say, so what I would say is, Ray, if you want to have some ideas, if you want to have a think about, like, what effects you would like for the shrine specifically, and then we can have a chat about that and think something like that.
So for now, I'm going to take it off my inventory and say it's with you if you want to add it to yours.
I've added a note to your stronghold as well. For that.
Stronghold, you say?
Yeah. Anything? Any like conversations or activities? Do you want to start working on your painting?
Yes, and I also want to go to a pet store.
Okay. Is there a pet store in Tyrea's Rest? I guess there is now.
There is now.
What's the name of it?
The name of the pet store
And who's running it?
It's called...
Puccinos.
Now I can't get Puccino's out of my head. I think it has to be called Puccino.
Is it run by a
And it's
Puccino?
run by the Puccino family.
Yeah.
The Puccinos, who are dog wild heart people.
Yes!
They're like golden retriever dog people. And yes, they are. They run it's only a little shop. It's like a little tiny shop. They mainly provide like accessories for home pets, food. Maybe they have like hamsters and guinea pigs and sort of things like that. No, it would be fire ferrets or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Fire
Fire
stoats.
stoats,
They'd have fire stoats.
Things.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I maybe they all sound the same. I don't know. Yeah, you can go to Puccino. Sorry, I have to note Puccino's down.
Put Puccino's down.
Where is it on the map as well?
Support your local business.
Oh, that's a great question. Where would it be on the map? It would be.
If it's near a latte fun, then that's
Lord,
a
you
hell of
got
a road to go
sorted.
to.
What if it's replaced the Lamplighters Guild tower?
Farris.
No, I said it was a small store. It would be located up in the sort of northern part of the city near the Greyforge district, and it's on like a little side street. Has anyone got a pen?
Oh, if you're heading up towards Mystique, that's where I wanted to go.
It's not quite there.
Get your feet.
This would be.
All right, well, Puccino's now exists.
Puccino.
Puccino.
That's my contribution to the world of Altheya.
Well done.
Puccinos.
It's because I'm terrible at naming stuff, and once you said it, I was like, I'm
That's
going to
all
get it out of my
it
head.
is.
That's just
It's
running
It
around
was a
in there.
great one.
So it is this little blue building here, number
Okay.
25.
Number 25.
Building
You don't want to see
25.
that, but
Okay.
I'm gonna
Blue
plus it.
25.
I imagine it's easy to barter in that place if it's run by.
Be easy to barker in that place.
You can leave the stream now.
Their barker is worse than their bite.
If it's like
God.
Canine Wildheart that are running the place, every time you go to buy something, you just like wiggle a toy near them.
No, so yeah, it is run by Augustus Puccino. Augustus Puccino, who's the father of the family. It's a family business, been in the Puccino line for generations.
I'm gonna have
of
to
course.
expand
Puccino
on the
before
back
me,
here.
Puccino before him.
Yep. And of course, yeah, they definitely told her, hey, welcome to Puccino's. Hey, how you doing there? What are you looking for, young miss? What can we do for you? Who's this hello, little fella, what's your name? And Stuart says like,
Stuart.
hey, Stuart, hey, little guy, how you doing? Oh, look at you. Ain't you a cute little guy?
Gruff is nowhere to be found in this scene.
Hey, Louisa, come and look at this little guy. Come and look at Stuart here. And then his wife, Louisa Puccino, comes out. Oh, isn't he just the sweetest little guy? Oh, you're just the best little fella. Hey, how you doing?
The cutest fucking dog I ever seen.
I can't believe it. Look at this. He's so cute. I love him. Anyway, how can we help you, miss?
Oh, we doing the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see if you had like a little jumper or something for when he's cold.
Man, this is Puccino's. You want a little tiny outfit for a tiny dog? We got plenty of those. He goes over and he's got like a little slides like part of the bookcase along, and behind like one section there's like a whole display area of little dog outfits, some for big dogs.
Cupboard, but really small.
Yeah, really small. Well, Louisa makes them all herself. I like that, boy. You know, I love a little bit of yeah. Look, and she starts pulling out her favorites. It's like
a little bow tie.
Yeah, there's like costumes as well as outfits. There's like a little knight's outfit, little princess one, a little dragon one. Yeah. But then there's like normal ones, like little outfits, like little jumpers and stuff.
Little waistcoat.
Yeah, like a little jumper and a little bow tie for
What colour jumper?
Oh no, what colour jumper?
I was just thinking of like, you know, what's it, Argyle? There's Argyle jump. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like little Argyle jumper.
Yeah, a little argyle jumper.
They're like, of course, absolutely, we could do that. It starts like
And a little burnt orange bow tie.
Absolutely,
Match the ribbons. That
gets
Daisy
that,
has.
gets a little bow tie. Maybe Louisa goes out and makes you a little bow tie whilst you're like shopping. Would you like to get some specialty food or anything like that? We got treats, we got toys, and you can see Stuart's just like, I want everything. Super excited.
I'll get him a little bed, and a little toy, and some food.
Yep, a whole thing will come together for, I would say, 10 gold. Because these are like specialty items, so they're higher priced.
Custom made bow tie.
Custom made, yeah. And he's like, oh, absolutely. Well, you know, you are welcome to bring little Stuart around anytime. We love him here at Puccino's, don't we? Don't we, little guy? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you happily make your way back.
And then I go and put all of his little stuff in my room, in his little bed, and yeah.
And did you want to pick up painting stuff while you're out as well?
Yeah, I could do actually.
So I'm just going to quickly look that up.
While Daisy's picking up painting, can Ophelia like go with her? Because I think Ophelia would want to go look at the bookshop and the printing shop and
Absolutely, you can.
do something.
Yes, writing a book.
Writing a book, making pamphlets.
Making pamphlets.
So yeah, you can get painting supplies for 10 gold. You can buy those painting supplies, and they will allow you to paint some stuff. Using crafting stuff, and then you want like bookbinder's gear and like writing supplies
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be, you would enter into Tombs and Co, the little printing house that was visited before. I'm gonna just bring up my notes on that.
They wanted stories, didn't they?
Yeah, they're always buying stories. Yida Perrin, little gnomish woman. You step inside, there's a little tinkling at the bell, and she's behind the counter. It looks like she's just reading, and she's like, oh! And she quickly puts whatever she's reading down,
Smart.
hides it away.
Sorry to interrupt, sorry.
Hello. Welcome to the Tombs and Company printing house. How can I help you? Are you looking for books? Are you looking for having something printed, or?
Oh yes, well I'm looking for a couple of things. I would like to get some, bookbinding supplies. I was thinking of making a little how-to guide
absolutely. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, of course.
And maybe some like printing supplies. I want to make some pamphlets as well.
Oh, marvellous, yes. Would you mind? So we like to keep a record of who is printing what, just in case we need it. So could I take your name, please?
Of course, yes. Sister Ophelia de la Rosa of the House of Blood.
Sister Ophelia de la Rosa of the House of Blood. Quite a title. And could I ask the nature of what you will be printing?
How do you describe
Daisy
blasphemous literature?
Daisy drifts away from the... I'll just wait for you outside.
Okay. Thank you.
I think you'd probably call it propaganda.
No, it's more like religious teaching, educational.
Yes. Yes, religious educational materials. Yes. Absolutely, yes. One thing I have to ask, and she's like checking, like, there's like a form that she's checking, and she's like, now these religious teachings, are they around the Church of the Scion?
No.
Are they? Would they be considered lawfully blasphemous or heretical?
Depends who you ask.
Well, I have permission from the Lord, from Lord Duke Ignarius himself to practice my religion in peace and rest. So
perfect. Well, wonderful. I will make a quick note of that.
Wonderful.
Writes that down. Wonderful. Well, in that case, if you have permission, and we have and finally, where is your current place of address?
Yes, it's at Tyria's Rest.
Tyria's Rest. And I'm assuming you give like the street name.
Red Steel Street.
Steel Street,
Ashes
Ashes
Rest.
Rest. Perfect, yes, brilliant. All right, I will send that to head office in Kelskaris, so we can have that registered.
How long will that take?
Oh, well, I can provide you all the materials now, but it's for
wonderful.
record keeping.
Oh,
my dear.
wonderful. Okay.
Mr. Toombs is very fastidious about this sort of thing. Like, he wants to make sure that, we have a clear-cut records of who's doing what and who's printing where, and that sort of thing. But yes, so let me get these supplies for you. And she starts, and she's like only like 3 feet tall, so she's constantly like bringing a little step ladder around, like getting up to these shelves. She gets you like reams of paper, like binding materials.
Do you have anything in black and red?
Yes, absolutely.
Fabulous.
I can do a sort of, finds like a bunch of different things like that. Now, and she'll take you over to the printing machine, and she says, now, when you're ready, if you bring your pamphlets here, what we do is we use this printing machine, and we can produce a number of copies, and how many copies you want varies the price. And it's this kind of very early printing press. Like it looks like it has a little bit of magic power to it, but this is like very simple block printing kind of thing.
Amazing.
And they can, and she's like, now, one thing we can do is very simple illustrations. It's a bit of a new thing, but if you do want to have a little bit of illustrative work, we can do that as a bit of a premium cost. It just costs more ink and things like that, you see, and we have to get the custom wood print made, but we work with a supplier in the Carpentry Guild to do all of that.
Oh,
That's all fine.
amazing.
But yes, we can do all of this, and
Like
gives you
send
the
like a
parameters.
sketch over to you or to the wood?
Yes, you would bring it to us, and then we liaise with the Carpentry Guild.
Oh, wonderful.
We ask that you try and keep it into a simple shape, all continuous, like a wood print would be. And yeah, she goes through all the details with you. All told, it's 10 gold for the materials, basically. For a bookbinder's kit, for enough for you to go and make and craft your
Can
own
you
stuff.
change your platinum?
Yes. Weirdly, but I don't think Ophelia would notice this because you're not great with money. You're just like, oh, platinum, whatever.
Yeah.
But to anybody else, if we're watching this from an outsider, she is very nonchalant about taking a platinum. Like, just like, oh, yes, of course, takes the platinum, changes it up, no problem whatsoever.
Thank you.
Like, platinum's normally quite a lot of money, so like the fact that there's something there where she's just sort of like, yes, no.
She signed a book deal.
She's like, well, I look forward to seeing your works, Sister Ophelia, and
I can't wait to see it come to life in your wonderful shop.
if I'm not mistaken, you are one of the ones who helped save the town, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. I think I've met one of your colleagues, the tall fellow.
Oh, Rowan!
Yes, Rowan,
Oh,
yes,
he's lovely,
delightful,
isn't he?
very delightful. I want to just repeat what I told him, because I've not seen him in a while. But the Tombs and Company House, we're very interested in stories, you see.
Well, I have stories.
Oh, well, we're always looking to buy them, things like that. We do a little recompense service for stories of thrilling adventure or mysteries or... Well, I don't like to use this word, but some people use it, gossip as well, but things like that. Yes, we do purchase that.
Well, I'll have a think because I have lots up here.
And if anyone from the Clarion newspaper, just don't trust them. They're a very shady business. So
Okay.
Come to Tombs and Company first.
I will. Thank you very much for your
Thank you
business.
very much. Of course, absolutely.
Oh, look how my Daisy.
Gives you a little wave.
I think you should print a picture of Percival on the cover. Because he's like the most loyal, just the most loyal person to the Gravefather and to you, and I think he'd be great.
He would be wonderful, wouldn't he? That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. How are you getting on with your painting supplies? Everything all ready?
Good, I got so many things.
Daisy's carrying like two easels and like canvases under one arm and like a big bag full
Oh,
of
I'm so excited.
I've never had so many things in my
I
life.
cannot wait to see you unleashed. I bet it's going to be magnificent.
I could paint Percy. Percival, I could paint him. We could do a portrait for the shrine.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Percival. And I could speak to him and see if he wants any specific things, and then we could put it in the shrine.
That would be amazing.
Maybe it's a portrait of you and Percival. Maybe it's a family portrait.
Don't suggest such things. My
As
goodness.
you guys make your way back to the tavern, could I just have both of you make a perception check?
Oh la la.
Oh la la.
No. They noticed Xanthias died off screen.
Falling off the roof.
There's just smoke
14.
coming from the roof.
Face down in the
5.
pond.
Okay. The two of you make your way back to Tyria's Rest without incident. But because we're just about to go to a break, maybe as you guys are making your way back, cinematically, the camera sort of pulls away from you as you're making your way back through the streets. And there is very clearly a figure, shrouded, cloaked, can't see any details of them, very clearly watching you both. as you guys make your way back to Tyrea's Rest. With that, we are going to take our break. When we come back, we will continue wrapping a few things up, a bit of downtime.
Batman.
And we will see you soon.
It's the Archer.
But yeah, we will see you after this short break and see you in part 2.
Hell yeah! See you in a bit.
The toad is ready. The dragon will surrender to the storm's wrath during the solstice. You wish to waste my talents on dice rolling, so shall it be. 13. You morphed it. 9. Back to the prophecies. Thank you.
Welcome back to part 2 of Altheya the Dragon Empire. Our heroes are wrapping up some business in the town of Ashen's Rest as we have a bit of downtime on our hands. 2 weeks of time will pass, in between which the events of the Volant Vault, our special live show episode, will take place, allowing new magic items to be discovered, as well as perhaps new focuses for certain characters to think about in the future. Painting supplies have been bought, a little tiny outfit for Stuart the Dashant has been bought, and perhaps some people are being mysteriously followed around the town. But
Perhaps.
we jump back in as one thing you all wanted to do was go and speak with Duke Ignarius. Shall we get that done?
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
We fob him off.
Let's just, yeah,
That'll
ghost him.
Just
go well.
ghost him, yeah.
You could.
I spent too long in Mystiques.
You could.
Look at the time.
Oh, God.
No, we go.
Okay.
On time.
Sure.
Maybe even
This
10
would be
minutes
like the first day, of this downtime anyway. So you guys make your way to the appointment that you had made with Consider Ogre, making your way back up to the Dominus Ignarum. Nighttime, so the Dominus is lit up like this beautiful golden ruby jewel that sits on the top of this large hill overlooking the rest of Ashen Rest. You make your way back up there. You are easily let in by the guards. A few customary checks just to make sure you're not people in disguise or shape changed or anything like that. But without incident, you are led inside. And you are not led into the audience chamber this time. You are taken through the audience chamber, up a spiraling human-sized staircase to the upper floors of the central part of the Dominus Ignarum, where you are led into a enormous chamber. Upon the wall, you can see relics of battles and historical suits of armor, very similar to what Lady Emberis's collection was. But there is immediately a more sense of a personal history here. These are not just any soldier's suit of armor from history. These are the Duke's personal sets of armor. In fact, hung up from the ceiling is an enormous set of draconic barding, which is scorched and scarred and deeply battered in places. An immense set of draconic plate armor that would be, probably would take teams of people to place upon the Duke and have him equipped properly with it, culminating in a sort of large draconic-shaped helm with holes for his horns, of which there is a giant rent where his broken horn is on Duke Ignarius. There's a huge rent and split in the armor. Looks like it was torn out by some powerful blow, all hung up in a beautiful display setting. But also within this chamber, you can see that there is an enormous draconic-sized sort of sleeping area, just a flat area of space with some sort of heated, steaming plate, probably hit from coals or something underneath.
This is like I'm staying
Wish
here.
that was me.
Enormous, the size for a huge dragon to sleep upon. But there is also a smaller area off to one side with a large hearthed fireplace which is roaring with fire. Even though this is sort of late spring, early summer, so it's already kind of warm outside, but it's sweltering. And sat there in an enormous chair, is the Duke Ignarius himself in his humanoid form. Seems to be that this is maybe an area where he entertains human guests, or Ilkir, non-dragon guests. You can see that he's got a large goblet of some sort of deep coloured liquid, probably like a brandy or a whiskey or something like that, clutched in his enormous clawed hand. He still sits 9 feet tall, scars covering his body, his large broken horn, his dark skin, with his black dread-like sort of tendril hair falling around his shoulders. He's wearing a sort of loose shirt, maybe with a very relaxed. This is sort of his not quite a smoking jacket, but he's in that sort of I'm relaxing now. This is my personal time. And you can see that he's maybe deep in thought, reading through a few letters and things like that. But as you come in, he's just like, my friends, please come, take a seat. He gestures as a scurry of kobold butlers and maids come in. Would you care for a drink? Would anyone care for a drink or refreshment? Scurrying around you.
Well, I'd love a glass of cauldron red if you have any.
Of course, yes, of course. We'll find our finest vintage, madam, our finest vintage. And it's like 3 kobolds per human job. So it's like a job that one person would do is like 3 kobolds working together to do it. So they like scurry over to the drinks cabinet, climb on each other to get the bottle down, bring it down, 2 of them pour it into a glass that one's holding, then they scurry up and put it back on and then bring it over to you. And and you can tell immediately that this isn't just a cauldron red wine, this is some luxurious vintage that the Duke has probably had for some time. And you're handed in this beautiful crystal decanted wine glass. There's a little
the grumpy hog.
2 little kobold maids and a kobold butler are just like, ma'am, and they sort of bow to you.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, madam. You're most welcome. Anybody else? Would anyone else like drinks or refreshments whilst you're here?
Yeah, can I ask what the Duke is drinking?
Oh, yeah, certainly. He's like, a fine brandy from the Suncrest Isles, a particular favourite of mine.
Well, I simply must try it out.
Of course, my boy, please. And then you see the 2 kobold butlers, and they fetch a bottle, but it's quite a small bottle. So one kobold can pour it. There's probably only enough. Like it looks like the Duke's glass is a whole one of these bottles.
Oh, okay.
But for you, they pour like a chunk of it out into like a more ilka human-sized glass.
I want one that.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I'll have what he's having.
But they give it into you like a flat, round, crystalled, kind of classic whiskey kind of glass.
Okay.
They put would Sir care for ice in his beverage, or?
I look over to the Duke. What does the Duke have?
The Duke's drinking it neat.
Then I would drink it neat.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And they say, of course, very good, sir, very good. And you probably one of these kobolds is like a little mixologist. Like he's got like at the drinks cart, like he can sort of make you whatever you want, really. Like if there's cocktails or things like that you would like. But yeah, like anything else for anyone else?
Do you do egg and cress sandwiches?
They look around. They say like, we can go and ask the chef to have some made for you, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, very well. One of the little kobold maids like claps her hands, and a few of them scurry off. It will just take a moment, sir. We'll need to get that from the kitchen, if that's all right.
Yes.
And they just nod their head. Anything for
I really want an egg and crust sandwich right now. Like in real life, like Kim, not rough. Kim, that's all I can think about. It's in my head.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie, I've just thought I've got eggs at home, and now I might have been. That might be
so
dinner.
hungry.
Oh, they would sir like crusts on or off?
Oh, never been asked that before. On.
Very good, sir.
On the side.
Perhaps would sir like both?
You could do that?
Yes, of course, sir.
Yeah?
Yes. They're like looking up at Roman.
Thank you.
They don't like nod their head, dash off to let the kitchen staff know. But yeah,
How are they on but off?
They're probably gonna make you 2 sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
One with on, one without.
Yep.
Or they cut them off and then they lay them back on. So you can take
Wow. That's amazing.
But you take a moment, you gather your refreshments, and the Duke will gesture, and the kobolds, like, again, like, teams of, like, 6 kobolds push chairs. Like, it takes, like, 4 to 6 of them, but they will push a chair over until there are 5 chairs laid, around the fire with the Duke. And he's like, please, come and sit. There's no need for us to sit at formalities.
Your Dracarn... Oh.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like that. He still is like he like nods his head, still pleased that you're referring to him in his titles. But this is definitely a much more relaxed. This is not a formal meeting, a formal sort of like audience. So he's like, please come and sit. I have had some word of your recent endeavors. I've been speaking with that marvelous young green dragon woman, Verathera. She has told me a little of her goals in the Ash Hills. And of course, I've heard that you were able to assist Sir Eldrak and Emberissa. I'm hoping that his wounds will recover soon. He's a very tough young knight. I'm sure it will not take him too long. It sounds like he had quite the injury that he must recover from. But yeah, he like gestures for you all to sit down.
Nice. I'll take a sip of this thing.
Yeah. I was going to say, do give me a Constitution saving throw for this. This is very strong, and it's not normally designed for non-dragons to drink.
I rolled a 6. Constitution save, you say?
Constitution saving throw?
13.
13. You can keep it down, like you're not like throwing it up, but it's like one of those like you get the judders, like it's like whoo, that's strong.
Purely Xanthius' pride that got him through it. He's like, do not, let's show it.
You know, like when you have a drink, but you don't want to like look like a wimp, so you're like you resist like the judder and like the oh god.
Yeah, I'm definitely like anytime I take a sip now that looks like a bigger sip, I'm like only letting
straining
a tiny
it through.
bit in.
It is beautifully flavorful. There are strong sort of cinnamon, smoky notes in here. There is a sweetness to it, but a very strong alcoholic hit as well. And you can tell, Xanthius, that like there is also like this isn't just you digesting it, like your draconic blood is burning some of this off. This is like almost like an accelerant.
Right.
And like, so like this is like you feel heat spreading through your body as soon as this kind of hits. This is a fire dragon's drink, basically.
Rocket fuel.
It kind of is a little bit.
Okay.
But it's been mixed with some sort of brandy and you can tell like the Duke is like glugging this stuff back. But for Xanthius, it's a bit of a punch to it.
Right or
the wine is exquisite, Ophelia. It is absolutely. This is high vintage. There is elements here of sort of berries. Floral notes that you can tell, no earthiness to it at all. Very crisp, full-bodied kind of, and the aroma is just reminds you of the hills and the trees and the outside. You know, very very floral and sort of fresh, and just beautiful. Excellent wine. Excellent wine.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
How's that egg and cress though?
That's going to take a little bit of time. But the Duke gestures for you all to sit. What do you guys? How are you guys approaching this?
Riker style.
The chairs, yeah, I think for Rowan, like, because these are designed for like humans and elves and things like that. So for Rowan, like, this is a little small for you. So you could totally Riker this. You know, like you're. I
don't think I'd be brave enough in front of the Duke to spin the chair around, but I will awkwardly sit on it with my knees a bit too high.
Yeah.
Waiting for my tiny plate of egg and cress sandwiches.
Yeah.
Daisy's feet don't quite touch the ground.
Yeah, it's the opposite kind of thing. Yeah, the opposite problem. Yeah.
I mean, if this is an evening of relaxation, then if there's like a what?
No.
Okay. If there's like a almost a 2-person chaise, then I would almost not recline fully onto that, but like relax on this.
Yeah, I think that there would be like a chaise longue, like as part of this. Like, yeah, maybe they're expecting 2 people to sit on it. So when they see you lounging, 3 kobolds go and get another chair and like and drag it over, which the Duke finds quite amusing. He's like, he's like, very good.
It's not literally like laying down.
No, but you're clearly like taking up the whole
It's like
space.
a Jeff Goldblum lean.
Just cross-legged, but
Shirt
horizontally
flapped
across. Yeah, shirt. Oops.
A little glow of crab steel.
My bad.
There's one.
I'm assuming
Just trying to flash nip.
I'm assuming you have your bandages back on.
Yeah. It's very warm in here.
Starts getting naked.
It's quite warm. It is quite warm.
Cram's still just right there. And
Probably
right there.
like a little uncomfortably warm for Gruff. You're not used to this kind of temperature. Like this is stuffy for you. Like, what is Gruff doing in this kind of scenario?
He's pretty awkward. He doesn't know how. Not
Would he stay standing or?
He would probably take his cue from everybody else, and then when he sits in the chair, he's just a bit awkward in it because he's trying to resist the urge to like, I don't know, like sit on the floor or I'm thinking back to in his village in Ice Heart, like a big fireplace like that, everyone would gather on furs in front of it and just tell stories and be casual. But like this chair's fancy.
Yeah, they're very well made, very plush. And yeah, the Duke will say, so, Orgrim tells me that you wish to speak with me. What was it concerning? Your endeavours, I am assuming, out in the Ash Hills.
Okay, what were we not supposed to say to him?
I think we were supposed to.
Not-
I think we could say
Gruff,
that
what are you? What?
No, the voice is not. The voice is Kim.
Game time is
You can
paused.
say we dealt with a threat.
I am not
Roleplay
doing a
is
role. I
over.
am not doing roleplay right now.
We roleplay?
Okay. No, we are not
Okay.
roleplaying right now.
Right.
Do you want me to set up a call?
No, I just want to know from the last episode.
We can't say anything about the cult. We just say we dealt with a threat, but not say that it was Reclaimers or Crown Steel related.
I think they didn't want us to say that the threat was ongoing. I think they
Yeah,
wanted
that we dealt with it. It's over.
I have a question. Why are we here?
Get our reward money.
We want the 500 G's.
each.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was
And the
fine
book.
to say that there was a threat
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine to
that
say
we'll
that
need
there was a threat. Yeah.
seeing to at some point, but it's not. There's not a load of crown still there, basically.
Yeah.
So on that, I'm gonna say I think that's enough meta-OC conversation because
Okay.
part of the fun of this is that like you're all like, oh fuck, what do we say?
We weren't supposed to say anything about Eldrak consuming.
Yeah, yeah.
So are we role playing?
Yeah, can you please
in the room.
officially announce that we are role playing again, please?
Roleplay begins now.
Yes, Orgrim mentioned that you wish to speak with me. Matters. Perhaps you have some more information on what happened there. My children have been rather tight-lipped about the whole matter. Said that that you would come and speak with me.
Oh yes, my lord. There was a threat that was dealt with within the Ash Hills by ourselves. We do have evidence of that threat.
What is the nature of this threat, sister? Are we speaking of Vaultspawn, or... Verithera mentioned that there were some, she called them unwell individuals, the ones who
Yes.
kidnapped her, who captured her. Although I find it rather ridiculous that she did not choose to fight them. She would have easily been able to crush any such
Yes, she would have.
assailants.
She doesn't like violence. It's against.
Green dragons, very strange folk. But still, so a threat, yeah, so is it related to these, what are
That's
they?
a kind of
Bandits?
madness. I don't know. Yes, so I don't know what kind, but they
Some
weren't.
sort of madness had taken them.
Yes, they were very violent, but they were dealt with swiftly. I think
And not that I distrust you, but do you have any proof of these individuals? Were they organized?
Yeah, we got a book.
A book, you say, Rowan? You gotta say it
moving
not in character, otherwise.
laughing.
I know, alright.
Rowan laughs a lot.
Yeah.
I do.
I gave it
think
to
Obsidious
Obsidious
has
to
it.
look, but he gave it back to
Oh,
Gruff.
he did.
Gruff has.
Because he
the-
read it cover to cover instantly.
Yeah. He's a little nerd.
You
speed
get a
reader.
little voice in your head. I'm gonna set up a call.
Bing, 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 bing.
Who do I leave out the call? I need to leave one person out.
Decide quick.
Make a decision.
I literally have no control over this power of yours.
Xanthias. I'll leave Xanthias out.
Okay.
So what they were dealing with was crown
That's all
steel. I don't say.
Gruff starts like his eyes like twitching and
We struggled with evidence, to be honest, because they kind of came at us. We weren't expecting them to be even in this place of ruin. But we, like Ophelia says, dispatched them. They were kind of dirty and unclean and unkempt, so taking...
Living out in the hills.
Yes, and little-
Bandits, most likely. Or some ruffian, some scoundrels.
yes.
that's right. And so they didn't really have anything of worth on them to bring back.
Well, except Heartwarden, of course.
That's right.
I would still very much like a deception check from Rowan, please, because they didn't have anything on worth of worth on them to bring back. Is quite a different matter to what is.
Giant book that everybody
But also
knew.
ground steel.
Of course.
I feel like Gruff as well is kind of
Facing.
reaching towards his satchel,
Oh yeah,
and he's
that's
like,
been a
wait,
fate
no.
point. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
11.
11. Okay. There's I mean, yeah. You so carry on. Sorry, Rowan. You say like there was nothing of worth for us to bring back, and then I think Xanthius was going to jump in and say something.
Except Heartwarden, of course, which we did recover there.
That's right.
Yes. My late spouse's relic. I am very grateful for you returning that. I know it means an awful lot to Emberissa and to myself as well.
Oh, it's much better at being in
But I found it strange.
place for it.
So what were these mad individuals doing out there then? You say that they had nothing of value to them. Why were they there? They were not ambushing caravans. They were not. Why would they take Lady Verathera?
Really,
They
really
also
good question.
they also attacked a mining camp, the Shiroka Earthworks.
They attacked a mining company.
I'm not really sure what their objective was.
I strangled Belial. That was pretty big.
You did what?
Belaine.
Belaine.
Sorry, what?
Yes, when did this happen?
What? Excuse me, what?
Oh, yes, Your Draconic Majesty. There was a period of time where some of these miners, there was a level of corruption from Belaine.
The Embered.
Yes, because they were digging too deep.
Perhaps do you think that the Embered might be involved in the ones who captured?
I wish
Lady
you
Verathera?
told us this, Rowan. That would have explained the madness that we were
would have
seeing
done.
from... Maybe they were all operatives for Belaine.
Deception check, please.
Yep. Deception,
Yes,
which I now
please.
have proficiency in.
You didn't even fate.
I didn't fate 10.
10. You did not know of this encounter with Rowan.
No, you went into the mines. I know that you were in trouble and we saved you from that, but you never told us about
Can
strangling
everyone
Belaine.
make an insight check for me, please?
He gonna be mad.
Insight.
18.
18.
15.
Shall I make one as well?
Unnatural.
Everyone can. Unnatural 20?
21.
21. Well, very high all round.
15.
I would say all of you, I'll come to the 20 and 21 in a moment. All of you, there's like, you can see his eyes slightly squinting. Like, he's listening to this story and he's nodding. And he's definitely listening and there's a respect here, but he's also like, you're getting the impression that the Duke's kind of like, something's not adding up here. Like, you kind of get the sense this thing. Those who got the 20 and 21, like,
He's got a gun.
he's yeah, like you can this is like he's adding up that, like, hang on a minute, like you're getting the sense that he's like they're keeping something back, like they're not telling me everything here, and so he leans in, his body language changes to a bit more inquisitorial, and he's like, well, so you believe, if I understand this correctly, you believe that the ones who captured Lady Verathera were infected by this madness of Belaine, one of the Embered. Is
Well,
that...
it's obviously a fresh new theory. You have to understand, Rowan, after leaving the mines, was shaken. We didn't know too much about what had happened down there, so it's the first we've heard of this.
So it could be that these other individuals, these maddened bandits or whatever they are, they were not affected by this. This could have been a separate incident.
It could be, but I mean, two very, very similar incidents right next to each other.
In my
Makes
head, one
sense
of
to
them
me.
was affected directly by Belaine. Wasn't she? Her face was malformed.
One of the ones that captured Lady Verathera,
One of the
Sir
ones
Eldrak.
that tried to kill Rowan.
Oh,
So they possess powerful abilities.
In your heads, you hear Daisy say, people look for crown steel in the ash hills all the time. Crown steel's poisoned some of the water there. I don't think that's... Can we say that? He knows.
Rowan's looking up. listening. Where are my egg and cress sandwiches?
And you fought these maddened individuals when you rescued Sir Eldrak. Emberissa was very brief. She mentioned that his injuries were very severe, that he could not return to Ashen's Rest. She was taking him to seek healing elsewhere. We have plenty of healers here. I mean, how bad were these wounds?
Severe.
Severe. I fear that if we were delayed on the road any longer, then we would be in a very different situation right now.
It was all Emberissa's choice, of course. She was distraught to see him in such a state.
And did Emberissa tell you of her connection with Eldrak?
Yes.
Yeah, we heard.
That is not common knowledge, and I would ask of you, my friends, if it could remain a family matter for the time being.
We assumed as much.
Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. It was, I think, a little foolish of my daughter to send him after Heartwarden alone. He is a good knight, but still has a long way to go to be at his prime, I feel. Still, he is recovered. He is well. That's more of a question.
Oh, he did have quite a severe injury in that he did lose an arm. So I think...
Emberissa did not mention that. Quite severe. That is beyond any healer in Ashen Rest. Perhaps she has taken him to see a more powerful one in the city or in Pharos, perhaps.
I think it is quite difficult for a parent to see their son in quite distress and pain. So she is perhaps... That perhaps explains why she was not so talkative with you.
Yes.
Her mind is absolutely occupied
And Vera,
by her son.
Emberissa and I have disagreements about many things, and I think that this likely has drawn up some ill feelings, but that is another matter entirely. But these bandits, these maddened bandits, do you think that there are any more of them out in the hills?
Potentially, yes.
Well, that's what Lady Verathera has been looking into. That's what her and her people have been looking for.
Verathera said that she was trying to heal the Ash Hills.
Yes.
She knew of the history of the battle over there, and that much of the land. She told me that because her theory is that the land is sickened by trace amounts of that accursed metal that has infected the land there. Her hope is that in time she will be able to purify it.
I wonder...
A most fitting and honourable goal, I would say. The less of that foul, disgusting metal in the world, the better.
Hence why we prioritized her retrieval along with Sir Eldrak, of course.
I wonder, perhaps, if these bandits that we encountered were driven mad by the water and the crown steel in the ground, and therefore were, that contributed to their madness. And when they found out that Lady Verathera was trying to heal the land, well, they didn't want her to, so they tried to stop her.
Can I get It's still deception, I'm afraid, because it's twisting the truth of what you know.
Closer to the truth.
It is close.
The best
I will
line.
give you advantage on it because it's you're twisting the truth.
Yeah.
You're not outright lying. But he's already a little sort of like, I feel like they're not telling me everything here. There is a point of fate left.
I will take that.
All right.
Deception.
A big fat stack.
23.
Oh, 23. He takes that in his stride. Like, he doesn't... And I think it's coming from Gruff. He's like, a knight. A knight would never lie to me. Like...
Gruff is dying inside a little bit.
But he's like, he just nods his head. Excellent deduction. Knight-errant Gruffith. That is
We did actually...
very wise.
We did save Lady Verathera from them as well. They captured her in a cage.
Perhaps when she did not fight, they felt it best a way to prevent her from stopping whatever she was trying to do. Yes, if they were sickened by it, it would perhaps lead them to do something so desperate. Indeed. But yeah, he is like fully like that. That explains everything to him. He's like, yeah, perfect, completely reasonable. What happened? It's like, well, and you think that there are still more of these cultists out there. I may have to send some guards to assist Lady Verathera in her matters.
Well, we came across a sort of rudimentary settlement where it's clear that they were living there, but there were recent sightings of it being lived in, embers that were still somewhat...
Settlement?
Just like a makeshift village
I see.
of sorts, and we couldn't find anyone there. It looked like they left in a hurry, maybe having seen us come nearby to save Lady Verathera.
Yes. The cowardly sort, vagabonds and bandits and these sorts of people, yes. If they saw you coming or if they heard of battle, perhaps they have fled. Something that my soldiers can deal with. We can send soldiers out there to find them and root them out.
I believe that's Obsidious.
Sounds like they are just crazed bandits, nothing too serious.
Oh, good.
I think Obsidious was already handling that sort of...
Yes, I have a question about that. My son is not one to care about these sorts of matters, usually. He is too busy with his studies and research and studies into magic. I find it odd that he took such an interest. He has had no great love for Eldrak or Emberissa in the past, yet he flew out of here in quite a hurry when word came through that you may have been in need of assistance. What do you make of that? Did he speak with you? Did he come to aid you in some way?
It's quite the honor, honestly. He flew all the way out just for us.
Perhaps for Emberissa as well.
The thoughts and the minds of your draconic family are beyond us. I do not know his intentions.
Such big hearts.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage, because that you are playing on his pride and like his like he's not a bad guy, Duke Ignorus, but he's still a red dragon, so he can be quite arrogant. So flattery like works wonders.
23.
Yeah, he's just like, that's it. He's like, yeah, of course. Why am I asking? What's silly of me to ask you? He's like, yes. I will speak with Obsidious. I will ask him directly. It is unfair of me to ask that question of you. Yes, you are quite right, Rowan. You are quite right indeed. Well, it sounds like you have done a great deed for dragonkind in rescuing that young dragon. She is only a child after all. Quite a heroic feat, I must say, to rescue her, and of course, Sir Eldrak as well. And to recover Heartwarden. And it sounds like these bandits, mad as they may be, may still pose something of a threat to Ashen's Rest. So I feel that a reward is due. Of course, it's a shame that you do. Wish that you had some sort of something that you could give me, a proof of their danger or threat, but I will take you on your word.
Unfortunately, we got rid of the Tower of Crownsteel. I don't say that.
I ate it all. It's in my belly. Yum, yum, yum.
In fact, your son is going out there now to eat it all.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum. But yes, you say, but a reward, most certainly. I believe I promised you 500 gold each in return for some sort of evidence of threat out there, but I'm willing to take you at your word, but would you accept 300 gold each?
Oh, my.
Well, the quest was to bring back evidence of a threat.
Gruff in the voice chat. Now is now when I give the tome. I mean,
Are we supposed to give the tome?
Rowan mentioned the group in the community.
That's gonna
I don't
show
think
that there's a
Obsidian's
much
wanted us
bigger
to-
problem than there is.
I think it doesn't. I can't remember if it mentions Crownsteel or if it just mentions Daranax.
It mentions Crownsteel, but it's like very vague. It's very religious. It's very vague. There's nothing in there like big pile of Crownsteel gathered,
Yeah.
like fed to dragon. There's no like
give it-
reports
We
of
could
that.
do that then.
But it's definitely like it would implicate that this cult is actively pursuing Crownsteel.
What do you
I
think,
feel
Danzius?
like we need to give him. I don't think that we can. This is not in chat, but I feel like not giving him any inclination of the threat is going to come back on us badly.
Yeah.
So I
it's
think we
called-
should give him
It's called The Prophecy of Daranax. It's hundreds of years old. It goes from being more of a manual
his
to more
mortal enemy.
religious.
But I think
It's
that
going to
like
anger him so much.
No, but this is Daranax, not Galvasar.
not yeah.
Darren X was the one that
But he was.
fought.
Oh, it was
back
the one
then.
he fought. Yeah.
Probably
one that
did that.
It is the parable
scar
of
on
an
his head.
empire being stolen.
I
It
just
does
feel
have
like
names
It
in
might
it.
make, but it doesn't mean he'll be angry with you.
I think that if he finds out that we've kept that like the knowledge of Daranax from him, he'll be pissed off. And I think that it's probably better to have the Duke on our side than
Grabs them with the
I
book.
don't know, but we haven't. But it's not saying, hey, there was a big pile of crown steel and
Do-
Eldrak and Xanthius
yeah.
chomped on it.
I do think Gruff would be struggling to, because he's already told a big old whopper.
Yeah.
And I think he would be
wasn't
a,
big.
a mini
It
whopper.
was a small.
But it's Gruff would
He's-
still be uncomfortable.
Barely a
He's
big.
clearly fidgeting. Like he's a bit like,
I think we should give it to
yeah,
him.
like
Well, while
so.
I'm not in this chat.
No.
300 gold is very generous of Duke, but I mean, the journey we went on, the trials and tribulations.
But I am meant to understand, Xanthius, my daughter has rewarded you quite handsomely for many of your endeavours already.
Yes,
yes.
but I mean,
Show off my chainmail.
Ah, yes, yes, from her collection.
So light.
Did you meet with the young kobold who looks after the
Yes. So much knowledge.
interesting little fellow?
I mean, I agree. I'm afraid we didn't bring you much tangible evidence, but hopefully our word should count enough as evidence for the journey that we took and the things that we saw, Duke.
Make a persuasion check. High DC.
I'm not in this chat, my guy.
It's true.
I'm also not going to say how I feel about giving him the book. Sorry, persuasion.
Persuasion.
It's not about the
Don't have
money.
fate.
It's about
High DC.
High DC, you say? How does a 10 sit, my guy?
A 10.
Whoa!
He
We got him!
immovable. He's like, I feel that you have been very fairly compensated by my daughter, and I feel that 300 gold each is quite a princely sum for your endeavours in fighting these bandits.
Xanthius, yes, I think 300.
How much is a carton of milk?
Duke and Nurse is like,
What about
like,
eggs?
What?
about
100
eggs?
gold?
Eggs for the crust. It's a sandwich.
As you are having this conversation, maybe giving Gruff time to think about his actions, you hear a scurrying of little clawed feet as several kobolds bring in various plates of food, one of which is piled high with an equal split of egg and crust sandwiches with crusts on and egg and crust sandwiches with crusts cut off. And they bring...
What kind of eggs?
what do you mean?
Oh, like what? How big are the eggs?
Well, they've made it for... They're not made it for dragons.
Are
This
they
is-
like chicken eggs? Or are
yeah,
they
they'd be like chicken eggs.
eggs?
Yeah,
Okay.
they'd be chicken
Well,
eggs.
they're in the sandwiches, aren't they? So
Yeah.
all mushed up.
Yeah,
If they were making a sandwich for Duke Ignarius, they probably wouldn't use chicken eggs.
It'll be like a triple stuffed Oreo.
It's like the shaggy
so much
sandwich.
egg mayo. So much mayo.
Is it smelly?
I think that like the chefs here would be good enough where they know how to like mask the scent a little bit.
We are in
so
a
maybe
very
there's
warm
like
room.
There is a very warm room.
it's like opening an egg sandwich on a fucking
So yeah, there is like a pungent aroma. But they bring it out to you like, sir sandwiches.
Oh, thank you so
You're more
much.
than welcome, sir. And she gives a little curtsy, and you hear, and the Duke is like, "Nah, egg sandwiches, my favourite."
If you like one, you're just...
Oh no, Rowan, it's fine. Those are far too small for me.
Oh, yeah, true.
Help yourself, please. The chefs of the Kikshi family are very, very well, very good.
Croissant, croissant. I don't know which to go for.
You could have some of each.
I'm having...
Wait, did they
He
preserve
finishes the
crusts as well?
brandy.
There's crust on one side.
No crust.
It's like a number of sandwiches. It's like 6 sandwiches or 12 sandwiches, 6 of which have crusts, 6 of which have no.
But the
crust.
ones sans crust, did they keep the crust on the side?
No.
And that was requested. I'm
No,
going
it
to
wasn't.
complain to the
No,
manager.
there was a
wasn't
back and
requested.
forth.
Oh, yeah, you're
Back and
right.
forth.
Yeah.
I take the top half of the croissant on this side and swap them for the croissant on this side.
Okay.
So the top is croissant and underneath is croissant.
Okay.
Ooh,
With egg in the middle.
very fancy.
Right. Okay. So you actually mix and match them.
I'm trying things out.
Everyone's like watching you a little oddly, but yeah, they're happy to let you enjoy your sandwiches.
You should see some of the delightful meals that Rowan mixes up for us, especially on the road.
Quite the chef yourself, Rowan.
Fish stew. Stewy fish. Big stew. Small stew.
Stew is a soldier's meal. My soldiers on parade, like soldiers when they're on the march. Stew is quite a common favourite. Good social dinner. Get around the campfire. Keeps my morale, my soldiers' morale high.
Yes.
Warms your bones.
Very good. Yes, especially campaigning in the winter. And he's a soldier. Like, this guy's like, good soldier's meal, a stew. He's kind of got that, like, old British dad, like, army dad kind of vibe, or old British colonel sort of, like, he is an old soldier. Like, he is in politics now, but definitely is like, don't really want to deal with that. But yeah, so what is Gruff going to do?
When there is an opportune break in the conversation.
Yeah, the sandwiches is a nice distraction as he's having this barter with Xanthias.
Yeah.
And then the sandwiches come along, sort of interrupt everything, and then the conversation stills again for a moment.
Sip of the drink.
Morning, Arius!
Knight Errant Gruff, yes?
I say the following with the greatest of sensitivity. We have been wrestling over a bit of a quandary of whether or not to tell you of this since we have arrived back from the hills.
His brow furrows.
Given your personal history with the hills, the Ash Hills, I did find something.
What did you find?
I would just ask you, please. We did not mention this at first for consideration of your temperament. We did not want to upset you.
I'm sure there is very little that you could do to upset me, Knight Errant.
I found this, and I will take out the prophecy of Daranax.
Takes it in his giant.
Where did Xanthias go?
And immediately on the cover of this like holy book, it's very tattered. It's like worn down, but on the cover is an emblem of a gold dragon being broken up. But it's very clear, and it's a crown still corrupted gold dragon right on the front. And he sees this, and his draconic reptilian eyes blink. And you hear this rumbling coming from his chest as he begins to flick through the pages. And he starts skipping huge chunks of it. You see steam rising from his body, flames coiling in the corners of his mouth. Daranax. You. How is this possible? We should have slaughtered all of those that were left behind. I thought it a mercy to let his soldiers retreat to their homes, and yet they would continue to hoard and revere this foul creature. Traitor! And you can see his eyes just glow with menace. And as he's gripping the book, it begins to scorch and sear as it begins to burn in his hands. And eventually he just... and he throws it in the fire.
That went well in my head.
You should leave. I will award you the promised amount. You have done well. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And he just stands and stares into the flames.
Okay.
Where do I put my plate?
I'm going to put this down here on this table if you want to finish that.
Yeah, quickly. Well, I quickly get up and scuttle away. Draconic Majesty.
Okay.
As you, as you go say things to him, he doesn't even register you. And as you are leaving, all of the kobolds are just they're scurrying you along. Like, yes, please come with us. We'll see you the way out. We can fetch you things, and they're literally leave the master alone. Leave him alone. Just get out. As you are just leaving, the kobolds start shutting the doors, and you see him transform from that humanoid form as he turns into this enormous dragon, and you hear this echo through the Dominus Signarum.
Gather around the stone, gather around the stone. I'm taking us home.
Let's
There's no
go.
place like home.
No, it's absolutely fine. No, it's absolutely fine. Lord Ignarius just needs to.
Fine.
We just need to give him a bit of moment's peace.
You actually using the stone?
Oh, well, no. It's not happened in some time. But
Oh, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, that's good
it
to
is. The Kixi family, many generations ago, our great forebears who are present here after the Battle of the Ash Hills and Galdvasar's betrayal in the Oriat insurrection, they spoke of Duke Ignarius's wrath was severe. Not to any innocence, but the gold dragon Daranax, it took our Lord's wife. It killed many of his friends and servants. And there was a deeper betrayal. Daranax and Lord Ignarius were friends when they were younger. Close friends. They grew up, they were warriors, they trained together. Very ambitious. But yes, it's very personal. You can see this kobold is terrified. But there seems to be this like understanding of like, if we leave him alone, he'll be okay. Like, you are just ushered very quickly out. Considerate Orgrim, the kobolds back up and tell Considerate Orgrim, like, oh, the Duke has authorized a payment of 500 gold to these adventurers, and the Considerate, it seems to be aware that this is a thing that was a potentiality, and so you receive a payment of 500 gold each.
Okay. If the Duke does wish to talk further about this, let us know. I'm sure this will be in some time.
Yes, of course, I'm sure. Well, the Duke will send for you, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And can you let me know of the drink that I was drinking as well? That was very good.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. They would tell you that it would be it's a drink in Pharos, which is the sort of capital of Cauldra, that is beloved by red dragons.
Sure.
It has made its way into Gildai. There are exports of it to Gildai because, again, fire-breathing, gold dragons have a fiery theme to them as well. And I will come up with a name for it.
It's okay. You can let me know. Obviously, we need to be.
Yes.
I think was it fleeing? We're fleeing the place.
I think we're going back to the inn. Yes.
Yes, we're going to go back to the inn quickly, quietly, so we don't get stuff thrown at us or burned alive or.
But yeah, you guys make your way back to Tyria's Rest.
Okay, so what happened there?
That didn't go so well, did it?
No.
But if we didn't tell him and then he found out, then it would have been worse.
Oh, so we just told him. That's how it works. We either have the opportunity to hide it and incur his wrath later on down the line, or we just tell him outright and incur his wrath straight away.
Yes, but the thing is, his wrath is targeted at Daranax tonight and not at us. Would you have rather been on the receiving end of that if he eventually found out that we hid it?
I don't want to be on the receiving end of Ignarius in any situation ever, at all, ever.
The thing is, he would have eventually found out.
Yep.
And that rage would have been targeted at us.
Because we knew and we didn't say.
As what? People that...
We didn't say that you and Eldrak were near a big pile of crown steel. We didn't tell them that.
No,
I don't
true.
think he needed to know that because that threat has been dealt with. But he
I
does
was,
need to know if there's
Rough on
rumors.
this one.
He does need to know if there's rumors of things going on that threaten
Him.
Okay.
I agree. It would have been wrong to keep it from him. This is his kingdom.
Good luck, Reclaimers. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it's specifically as well, maybe thinking on it when you have some time, not in that intense moment. But you know that book, basically, from when you read it before, it implicates that this cult of Reclaimers believe that it is their duty to gather this stuff up. Or that Crown Steel is like some sort of key to a greater goal, basically, to unlocking a vessel. And I think it's that suddenly there's obviously... for Duke Ignarius, probably reminders there of what sparked off the Oriat insurrection. And, it's hard because none of you were really there, but this is a thing that happened hundreds of years ago, but it shook Dragon society to the core. And as somebody who was on the front lines of it and probably lost many friends and family members and everything else, just that sort of, the idea that mortals, that Ilkir are like revering this corrupted dragon, not his favorite thing. But yeah, I mean, like, in terms of your decisions and why you did what you did, that's you guys free to do as you wish.
Neat.
It's what Gruff would have done, like being a knight. You know, it went against his like honesty thing.
Yeah.
Just keep that.
Absolutely, it makes sense that Gruff would be. And also, I think Gruff is like, those reclaimers were a serious threat. They weren't just bandits. Like, they had powers and they were pretty well organized. And they're a threat. Like, you know, and your part of your thing is to protect people, right? Like.
And also, if anything, he kind of disagreed with Obsidius, saying that we shouldn't tell Father. Don't tell Father. And he was kind of pissy with Obsidius for, 1, shouting at him, and 2, threatening Xanthias. So I'm not going to do everything that Obsidius tells me to do. That's my
Also, we didn't tell them the key point, which is that Eldrak had eaten crown steel and everything about Xanthias eating it, or there's a big pile of it. That we didn't tell him that stuff, but I think he needed to know about the rest.
Know about the cult.
Yeah, because that poses a threat.
Very interesting.
Xanthias feels differently, I'm assuming.
Okay, there's I suppose, a historical significance, I suppose, to Xanthias's distaste of this idea, in that in Cauldra, gold dragons aren't massively well liked, or at least well trusted. There's a sort of a hidden secret kind of like, you were the people that devoured Crown Steel and almost destroyed the land, right? Which is an idea that I suppose has over the years been eradicated, right?
It's been eradicated, but it's like old wounds, right? Like, there are like older like, you've met Duke Ignaris. He has no problem with Xanthias. He's like, you are a young Dragonborn. You would have had nothing to do with that. Like, I trust you. Like, you're fine.
If only he knew.
Maybe if Duke Ignarius met like an older gold dragon, he might be a bit like, hello. Like, it's that kind of like. There's a bit of a mistrust there, and also old wounds, but it wasn't just the gold dragons that were corrupted. Like, the bronze dragons, some red dragons were corrupted as well. Like, you know, it was really only the green and silver that didn't turn. Most of the other dragons had dragons that joined Galvassar and joined the other side. It was a civil war. It was a full-on civil war.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, there is definitely still, like, that lingering, like...
Yeah, if there's like a reignited fury from the Duke,
it might.
Then he turns to bolster troops into investigations in the Ash Hills or whatever, and the idea of this Crown Steel threat re-emerging is going to sort of lead to this undercurrent of this feeling against gold dragons again. And I guess that's a kind of a thought process that's going through Xanthias' mind as well.
Absolutely. Is this going to put you in danger?
Yeah, the idea of Crown Steel for Xanthias, he doesn't want anyone talking about it.
Maybe where you and Obsidius align, even though perhaps you recently disagreed on some things, perhaps you and Obsidius
In that case, I changed my mind.
That's how you get Tom. You just make sure, like, Obsidius would love to do it, and he's like, I don't want to do that, and then I'm going to do the exact opposite. But yeah, so we make our way back to the inn. Perhaps it's... Your walk back is almost silent, as some of you are still sort of reeling in shock and horror at what happened. Maybe Xanthias in a little bit of an anger or a fury bubbling away in there of like, fuck, like this could fuck things up for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you make your way back to Tyria's Rest, where you would find Percival happily like tidying things up, cleaning things up maybe. Penelope sat there sort of just reading through some books downstairs. Sort of chippily just sort of like, hey, are you okay? Like, sort of seeing everyone coming in like,
Well, we went to go see the Duke and we had a tiny bit to drink. I had 3 sips. It burned my soul.
Really?
It was hot. It was so hot. I still feel a little flushed, I'm going to be honest.
Oh,
just 3 sips?
Oh, you should have tried it. It was... I don't know the name of the drink, but it would have ignited all of your souls.
Seems to be, yeah. But yeah, so you guys make your way back. This would probably be in the evening, so, you know, it'd probably be quite late by the time you guys get back. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go do some writing, I suppose. Start getting some thoughts together.
Read about the stuff?
Yes.
Good.
I'm going to do some pamphlets as well, design some pamphlets. Daisy, would you like to help me design some pamphlets?
Yes.
Yay!
I can't write any of the words though
That's
because
okay.
they're scary.
You have some really good ideas about drawings and everything. I'd like to see what you come up with.
I can design the cover for you for sure.
And pamphlets? Yes!
But I'm not writing the words because they're creepy.
That's okay. It's okay. I'll do all the words.
Right, so Ophelia and Daisy perhaps go and work on some designs and sketches and, typing up jotting down some ideas for future things. We'll roll that into like a big downtime roll for like the first week. But yeah, anything else for this evening or the first week of downtime people would like to do? Well, I know one thing we want to do is you want to go to speak to Norikel.
I do feel like we maybe need to check in with Rowan after the revelation to the group that he was, having a hangout with
Do that if you wish to.
Elaine.
Nothing to do with me, pal.
I'm sitting out by my big rock and little rock, just strumming away on my guitar.
So I don't know who wants to be involved. Everyone wants to be involved in this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like there would almost be like a natural sort of drifting together. Like maybe Gruff is sort of trying to figure out, he's sitting by his pond and he's figuring out like what he's doing there. And maybe if, at an opportune moment, maybe we've started enjoying lunches outside,
I
we
just
gather.
fell off the roof.
Yeah, Xanthus fell off the roof. Dave's taking Stuart for a poop, that kind of, we all just sort of, maybe we've been having lunches in the garden together because it's been nice. Pastry supplied by a latte fun, #sponsored.
Use the code High Rollers on checkout.
What if that company actually exists?
A latte
God,
fun.
yeah.
Almost
Quick Google.
Then I'm going to send them an invoice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, Rowan.
Oh, hello. Oh, you come to bask in the glory of rock.
How you doing there, big fella?
Good. I'm trying to figure out lyrics to a story
Is it about a rock?
about this rock, yes.
Oh!
Because obviously Ophelia went to see the Tomb and Co.
Tombs and Co, yes.
And it reminded me that they needed stories, so this is a great story, this one. The Big Rock.
Well, what have you got so far for your song?
Rock is how I'm going to kick things off.
Right, okay, it starts with rock.
Yeah.
Does the lute come into this at all? Or is
Oh,
it
yeah.
Yeah?
The whole melody is done.
And it
I
is.
really struggle with the lyrics.
Okay.
It's a real struggle, but also how am I going to put the song into the book? I don't understand. So I'm at a loss.
We'd just perform it, right?
No, because it's got to go into a book.
You write it down.
Stories.
Write down the lyrics?
Yeah, but I've got them. How does the... Never mind. It's all right.
Okay.
Do you want me
I'll
to
figure
write
it
it
out.
down? If you tell me what you want it to say, I can
Well,
write
I've
it
got
down.
rock,
I can write rock down and then we can come back to it
and
when we
then
have more.
leave a lot of space,
Okay.
and I'll come back to that. That's
I'll
about
write
it.
rock at the top of a page and then just leave the rest.
Keep going.
No, I've just got a really dumb dad joke. But it's really bad.
Unfortunately, I think the joke just started. So you're going to
Yeah.
have to finish it.
Yeah.
And it is...
She's dying.
You could talk about how you rolled the rock home, and therefore, if you put it to a song, you've got rock and roll music.
Oh, I thought you would say Rolling
Yeah,
Stones.
actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Or Rolling Stones. That's the second part of the dad joke.
But that doesn't
Rock
make
and
sense.
roll.
But there's no such thing as Rolling
Rock and
Stones.
roll.
There's no such thing as
I
rock
don't
and roll.
understand, Gruff.
I know, I saw this little thing.
And it's great.
Okay, in Ice Heart, it's a thing.
If it's not canonical, it is in
Kim
where
just
we
says
come
it's
from.
in Ice Heart. Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
It's in this tiny village.
That's what
Noodle
Gruff
noodle
thinks
situation.
is in Ice Heart.
Well, back where I'm from.
Oh, yeah.
In our little village, we used to listen to dubstep.
Yeah.
No, it's
Azarstep.
Azarstep.
Well, speaking of stories, Rowan.
Yes, have you got one?
No, but I think you have more to tell about another one of yours.
I do.
Yes, this
Pebbles?
whole Belaine situation.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, you kept that one hush-hush.
I swore I told you all about what
Really?
happened. Did I not?
Not properly, no.
We arrived.
Yes.
You look like you've seen the twin pits of hell. And then you said, I need to get out of here.
Yes, which we did as quickly
So
as we
we
could.
got you out of there as soon as possible. But then by the time we got back up to the surface, there was the whole business with
It
the
was
brother.
scary, right?
Yeah,
For everybody.
well, yes, we were trying to rush down into this place to try and save you. I ruined my clothes.
And Jae-soon
was the
with
worst day of my life.
with the mouth. Scary. She tried to kill me. So
Right.
I defended myself
Great.
in a way that I didn't expect myself to defend myself. I formed a cocoon.
Like a butterfly.
Like a
Yeah.
butterfly.
Yeah, it kind of came out from the earth itself and surrounded me as like a defense.
Well, you've never done that before.
Nope.
You've been hit a lot.
Kinda
You've been on the
freaky.
ground a lot.
Yes,
I kind of
well,
wish you knew that.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have this ability beyond that, but it kind of jumped in when my life was on the line, I guess. And it put me in a strange place.
Wait, for how long were you down there? Because that
I
would
don't know.
explain how we were able to get there quick enough to
Time
save
was, it was all a blur.
you. Right. Wait,
And
where's Belaine come into this? I mean, obviously.
when I was in this state of sorts, I felt like I was between worlds. It was bizarre, and Belaine was around me, present, close, because of what they've been digging up, I assume. His attention grew towards me, and I struck out.
And strangled.
I reached out of my cocoon and I felt a primal, earthly instinct to protect the earth itself, the rock, act on its behalf, on this corruption.
Is that where there was that rock golem thing? Do you remember when we went down into the caves?
Yes, that was a manifestation of the planet, the earth, defending itself, the magic of the land. And I felt more connected to it than ever. And it channeled through me in some way. And it allowed me to strangle a deity or whatever this thing Belaine is.
And has
So-
this deity?
He wasn't very happy
Well, I
with
would
it,
be.
but he ran away. And so it stopped the shaking and all the Belaine stuff that was happening.
Did you speak
minute.
to it at all, or did it speak to you?
Yeah,
And what sort of
just
conversation did you have?
threatening.
Right. To return?
Can't recall.
I guess Rowan doesn't recall then.
I'm pretty sure.
It was kind of scary.
Okay. No,
And
yes.
He's always, Belaine's always threatening to rise up to the surface and
Well, I mean, it's
do bad
what,
things.
second time now?
Yeah, anyone, yeah, folks can make a religion check. Obviously, you still remember because you've encountered cultists of Belaine and stuff before.
13.
13.
Religion.
14.
15.
I don't have religion anymore.
13, 14, 15.
Makes sense. 13.
13.
13, 14, 15.
Pretty much all of you kind of are like, okay, well, you know the basics of Belaine. Belaine is one of the Embered, was a powerful deific-like being, is specifically not referred to as a god or a goddess or a deity by the church, by the Scion Church, because that would is like equivalent and making them equivalent to the actual goddesses. So they're referred to as the Embered. They are beings that came with Sovereign to help make this world, to make the material plane. And Belaine was supposed to be responsible for things deep in the earth, creating things like metals and jewels and creatures and things like that. But became corrupted, was killed by the Proto-Magi, and then became corrupted by Sovereign and turned essentially into this horrific evil being. And now is known as, the worm who hungers, she who crawls, he who slumbers. Like, they're generally gender neutral as well, like they interchange between male and female. For Daisy, and maybe it's Nim in your mind kind of talking about this to give you this knowledge, what Rowan's describing, you don't think that Rowan actually, grabbed this powerful being. Probably there was it was like grabbing a small piece of them, like a piece of them sent out into the earth, and Rowan just managed to grab that and was enough to provide some sort of threat or power, but compared to Belain itself, there's no way Rowan would be a threat. So maybe it was like a vestige or a smaller avatar of its
Localized
power.
area.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. But yeah,
you can see Rowan kind of recoiling in a little bit as he's telling this story, and it's kind of getting to the point where visions came to Rowan, and he's kind of bottling up a little bit, and you can feel him see him rubbing his palms. And
I think
Daisy's gonna give you Stuart.
Oh, hello, Stuart.
I think I'm being delicate with the
Steady.
almost the guiding your answers, I suppose, or like trying to lead you into talking about the right things without necessarily saying, "Hey, remember when you were fucking stabbed in the caves?" I'm trying to
How
be
do you do
delicate
it?
with it. How do I do it?
yeah.
How do I guide the questions I was asking? Like,
I see.
did they speak to you? What sort of things did they say? Can you recall, their mood and stuff like that? Like, I guess leading you rather than letting you lead the conversation, and therefore you lead yourself astray down a scary path, I suppose.
Yeah, so far he's been pretty open and is responding to every question. But you can
it's
see
making him uncomfortable.
shriveling a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rowan, how do you feel now about it?
It's a little scary. I didn't realize how much I kept from myself. I didn't really remember what happened until it's kind of being relived right now. So I'm kind of feeling those feelings again. So it's not that nice, to be honest. I'd rather not feel these feelings. So,
What do you need right now?
Stuart's good. I like Stuart.
Would you like to talk to Stuart?
He's very young, right? He's gonna be...
He's not a puppy. He's like an adult dog.
Oh,
He's just small.
He's just small.
sausage.
I thought he was a baby.
He is also just 2
He
days
is just
old.
a baby. He's just a baby.
He is 2 days old, but he is also 2 days old that manifested as an adult dog.
Not very world-wise, I imagine. But we have your big rock here. We can
Big
think
rock.
more about your song.
Yes.
You're also, we're on the ground.
Yes.
Connected with
That's why I
nature.
like sitting on the ground. The moss is nice, because moss grows on rocks,
Yes.
sometimes.
Maybe you
We
can put that in your
the
song.
Yeah. See? You can write
Moss.
that down.
Moss grows on rocks.
It does.
And
Do you want me to write
then moss,
Frogs jump on rocks.
frogs jump on
We're
rocks.
including frogs. There's a whole world of
Moss in the pond. Ponds have
things. Rocks.
rocks.
This is all great.
All roads lead to rocks.
Roads are made of
Roads
rocks.
are rocks.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Rocks
Not all roads are rocks.
Rocks
Some are just dirt.
are rocks.
Mountains are huge rocks.
It's the biggest rock of all.
Look how you're all talking of Rowan like he's an idiot. Mountains are rocks. Oh yeah, it's true.
This is all.
He's not that dumb, guys.
This is all our artistic minds trying to come up with lyrics for a song, rather than
It's
speak to
hard,
Rowan
right?
like he's two.
Yeah.
It's tough coming up with lyrics.
Yeah, so it turns out I'm
But
not
I've
very
now
good
got
at it.
moss. Thank you. I've got some adjacent things.
Yes, and
I was stuck in rock, I'll be honest.
well, we're making progress on the song at least. Now let's get back to Belain. No, I don't do that.
You can rock on a rock. Rock on rock.
As much as I enjoy the coming up with lyrics for Rowan's song, one thing I definitely want to do before the episode ends is let Gruff speak with Nora Cal as well. 'Cause I want to get that established. Unless you're like, no, save it for next week.
It's okay.
Because that's like an important thing I want to get covered before we do some like downtimey stuff. So yeah, you guys like, have this conversation with Rowan. Maybe some of you guys stick around, you come up with lyrics, and then at some point over that week, Gruff, you would go and seek out Sonora Kel. They would be staying at the Grumpy Hog Tavern. You make your way over there. Maybe like ask around, like if anybody's seen her, or ask around, and you are pointed in the direction of the Grumpy Hog Tavern. Other people can come with you, obviously, as well. But you make your way in, and in one of the ground floor rooms. she's currently staying. She's sat out in the main living space. Hogrim, the innkeeper there, is like happily serving drinks and doing food and lunches for people. Her wheelchair has been like wheeled in to a comfortable seat by the fire. She's got like a blanket over her lap. She's looking a little bit more grandmotherly, but happily like sipping like a lovely china cup of tea, just sort of looking around, observing everything, taking everything in. When she spots you, and you see her just sort of nod her head very gently in your direction, very knowingly. What does Gruff do?
Yeah, so I'll nod back and head over. Is there like a sort of like, not a salute, but like any kind of gesture or greeting?
None that you know of. I mean, right now you're still in that initiation, like, can you even become a member? Like, you've not been taught any sort of things like that. Generally, I guess Gruff would know that it would be obviously polite to bow or something like that. Like, this is a knight, so it'd be like a bow or like a symbol of, respect, basically. Some sort of generic sign of respect.
Yeah, I'd definitely bow in front of her. Sonora Kell, it is wonderful to see you here today.
Knight Aaron Graff, welcome, please. Would you care for a seat or a spot of lunch or something? I found Hogrim's hospitality to be quite pleasant. I've been staying here.
One of the first we saw when we first came here. So yes, I will join you in lunch. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And she'll gesture over. She orders whatever you want for lunch, whatever the local lunch is. It'll be like a set menu kind of thing. But she orders it, doesn't even quibble about paying or anything like that. Just happily hands over some coins. You can see that she clearly carries some amount of wealth on her. You see no sign of her grandson, Vracus, but she's just on her own, and she's like, "So I hear that you had left Ashen Rest for you've been gone for some time now."
We went on a quest to the Ash Hills. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I've heard of it.
We were tasked by the Lady Emberissa with various quests, of which we accomplished and returned. And, well, it is on that note that I wish to catch up with you.
Yes, it sounds now. It is very important for a knight-errant and a knight to always be in the service of people, and completing such grand quests is one to build one's fame. But I ask, do you feel that this endeavour has met the requirements I set before you?
So the task you set me, find a place that has lost hope and restore it by sword, hand and word. Bring me the story of your triumph and proof in deed and art. Well, we set out and we... Sorry.
Sorry, take a minute. Together. You also, as a point gamer, you don't have to like recite the whole story. You can be like, I tell her what happened at Shills or whatever. You can obviously alter it as you wish to if you don't want to do the whole thing.
So I would say by sword, I would talk of thinking of how secret we're keeping things now. That's the trouble, isn't it? Perhaps I would tell it as if I was telling Lord Ignarius, these groups of crown-steel maddened people who are causing problems in various locations around the Ash Hills, including the mines, the citadel, and how they had kidnapped Lady Verathera and Lord Eldrak, Sir Eldrak, and I would, for the sword, I would recount how we battled them in the heart of Daranax, and then by hand, I think it would be the act of freeing Lady Verathera, kind of grabbing the two, working together. Sorry?
Baranth and Penelope as well.
Oh, and yes, and Baranth and Penelope as well. And then by word, I would say that I helped a friend who lost his way and needed some words of encouragement to bring him back home to a safe place.
And I would entrust that if I were to speak with Lady Emberissa and Lady Verithia, they would obviously confirm these valorous deeds that you've done. And this friend, were I to ask, they would agree with what you've told me?
I hope he would.
Well, it is the test required proof. So I would ask that you bring this friend to me. so that I may verify it myself. For if there is not a physical proof, then I must take it on the word of a witness, as is often the case in knightly quests. There have been many knights who have accomplished their tests and quests upon the word and deed of others. But I would ask. The draconic lord and lady I can always ask. I do not doubt them, but this friend I would ask to speak with. Bring them to me, and I will make my decision.
I will see what I can do. In the meantime, I do have another form of proof, and I'll gently unwrap the Fiola flower that Lady Fira gifted and unwrap that.
Ah, now this is beautiful. And enchanted with green draconic magic, no doubt. I do not know much of the flowers here, but I know that this is cauldron, and I can see that there has been some foul magic done to it that has been purified. This would back up the story that you have told me. Before I meet with this, she hands it back to you. Before I meet with this friend to confirm this final part, I ask you, and you see there is a glimmer of magic. She brings up and she casts a spell. She looks deep into your eyes, Gruff. Do you, knight errant of the Circle of Loyal Hounds, Gruffith of Tremoro, believe you have accomplished this quest? In your heart, in your soul, and upon your word?
I sincerely believe in my heart and my soul that more than anything I upheld the third tenet to bring hope and comfort to those in need, to walk beside them along paths we have already taken.
She smiles. And I trust that that is truth. Gruff does genuinely believe that. She smiles. Then I would have no need for your friend to come and visit me. For it is all part of the test. If you had refused, then that would be done and dusted. But I see it in you, a purity of truth, that you truly believe you would have accomplished that. And that is the true nature of what I tasked you with, to see if you could set upon a deed that had no specific direction and find within it a path that matches with the tenets of our circle. We are not prosperous as a knightly brotherhood and sisterhood. We are not wealthy or powerful. Many wish to join knights for gains, to have status. They wish to become famous. They want their name to be a legacy. But we are old. Our time of legacy is long past. We use our remaining years to do what we can, in whatever small way that will be. Because it is not just grand deeds of slaying beasts or defeating armies or tricking evil mages that is the nature of a knight. Sometimes it is in the small things, helping a friend find their way, curing sickness, being there when someone is dying and needs a comforting hand. These are knightly too. And I accept your quest is completed, knight errant. Now, I believe I told you that there would be 2 more quests, 2 more masters that I would like you to learn from, spend time with. And you and I will spend some time together as well. I will teach you a little of what I know. The 2 that I know of, one resides in the grand city of Kelskaris, and another in the city of Wavemeet in the Suncrest Isles to the south of here. Not too far. I would not wish to send you trekking all the way back to Iceheart or to the Azar Steppe. These are the nearest members of my order that I know are nearby. I will tell you of one of them. And when you have completed the quest for them, they will speak of the other. Does that sound agreeable?
Most agreeable.
I will let you think on which one you would prefer to go and seek. Well, we will have lessons in the meantime. I will teach you a little of what I know. Not much in the way of the sword. I will leave that to one of the other masters to teach you martial skill. I have a knowledge of magic, but also of history and a little of the natural world. I will teach you of that. But also some of our order's traditions, some of our gestures and deeds and words that we speak.
Your knowledge will be gratefully received.
That is a big part of the Circle of Loyal Hounds, to pass on what we know to those who need it. But yes, you still have many years ahead of you, unlike someone like me. But I will teach you what I know, and in that way I perform my nightly duties too. Now, I do believe it's time, and she sees that lunch is being brought over with a fresh pot of tea. And also, Hogrim, I've introduced Hogrim to an idea from my homeland. I call it bingo.
All right.
And she has like little scraps of paper, and Hogrim's got like a little, he's had like a little custom thing. She's like, I find it quite enjoyable. Will you play a game with me?
Definitely learn.
Yep. And you will play a game of bingo with Sir Norakel.
Of course, the circle. Loyal Hounds plays bingo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a bunch of older knights. They love
Keeps
it.
our brains sprightly.
Exactly, they love it.
Bestow upon you my stamper.
But yes, you have Gruff completed part 1.
Part 1 of 3.
Yeah, there are 2 options. You are happy to take some time to decide before you decide which one. One in Kalskaris and one in the city of Wavemeet, in the Suncrest Isles. That is a very large city on the coast.
Cool.
With that, I think that's going to be it for today's episode.
Yep.
Very good.
Hell yeah.
Lovely stuff.
So next time, week 2 of
Yes, we'll
Downtime.
wrap up the downtime stuff, and then I think it will basically be right, where next? What do you guys want to do? What do we want to do next? Like, do we want to follow some personal stuff? I will see if maybe there are some external factors that might edge you, push you in certain directions. There are still some quests that you guys didn't take. Maybe they've developed in a way that might need attention or might not. There's also there's a big list of stuff to do. Brightsword Ilkara is still out there somewhere.
There was that guy, hooded guy watching.
Nobody knows about that.
No one knows about it. No, but
you still need to go get your lovely clothes from Next Mist as well.
I do. Yeah.
But yes, we will gather all of that. I think that will probably be the end of the interlude next week, and then we'll hopefully get onto a new exciting quest.
Hell yeah.
Quest. But yeah, with that.
Scars.
All right. Yeah, Kalskaris might be on the cards. I mean, Gruff's got a thing there, and
Wavemeet sounds fun though.
Wavemeet.
Beach break.
And I want to make it clear, both are totally viable. There will be things to do in both. I'm not going to be because I know I made the point of Eldrax in Kalskaris and things like that, but I want to make it clear that I'm not pushing to there. You can absolutely do what you want, but
Kalskaris is just one we keep hearing a lot about.
Yeah, it's because it's the capital. It's because it's the capital city, right?
It would be kind of fun.
But Wavemeet will have lots of cool stuff. It's a very cool location. I've actually got a bit of detail on it, so it will be a fun one to go to.
That's what I call when I run down the stairs naked. Wavemeet.
Gross. With
That was
that,
such a lovely episode.
Happy 9th birthday.
happy 9th birthday. everybody.
Tom fired.
Why do you let the intrusive thoughts win?
Yeah, Tom.
You
I had
need to rein them in.
4 opportunities in which,
Me too.
But you need to. Sometimes you tell the thoughts no.
Okay, all right, I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
Until then, I still made that joke.
With that, thanks very much. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love ya.